Welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Arsenal. Watch along, and if you're here for the match reaction, the link is in the video description with that. But we are live. Look, I've got to be honest with you, my nervousness has not changed. I've had a very odd feeling about this game ever since we beat PSG. I don't necessarily know why. I wish I did, but I have. And I'm hoping there's no reason why Manchester United shouldn't win today. I hope that we are going to win. The link in the video description. The score, I can't even get my words out. The team prediction is out there. I think what it is that I know Arsenal are going to come at us today. Of course they will. And I know that we're good enough to beat them. I just hope that there's no look, we're going for 10 wins away from home. I've got to say that if we did lose today or we did draw today, I don't think there's much cause for moaning or ranting or anything like that, because what we've been subjected to or treated to over the last 3 months has been absolutely superb. But I hope that the team's going to do it. Wolves are winning. I've got it on the telly at the moment. They're winning with 22 minutes to go, which in the context of the race for the top four would be absolutely massive if Chelsea don't win. I mean, I don't even mind if Chelsea get an equaliser if Chelsea don't win. That would be huge. But team news should be with us any second now. There's talk that Nemanja Matic will start. I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't start. In fact, he does start. So the team news is De Gea, Young, Lindelof, Smalling, Shaw, Matic, Fred, Pogba, Dalot, Lukaku, Rashford. So I've got one player wrong there. Martial on the bench, Bailly on the bench, Rojo on the bench, McTominay on the bench, Pereira on the bench, Martial on the bench, and Greenwood on the bench. So, maybe Martial not quite fit enough to start. I think that was the feeling there with that one. So one player not quite right. Rashford will play off the left, I suppose. Dalot off the right. Fred, Pogba, and Matic in the midfield. Very happy with that. Very happy with that indeed, going into this game, because I think that how we approach it was always going to be about the midfield. We spoke about the FA Cup game in the past. It's about winning the midfield battle with Arsenal. They've got no Torreira, we've got no Herrera. That sort of equals itself out, I agree. But the fact that we've got Matic back, I think Scott McTominay has done fantastically well for Manchester United over the recent games. But I think that having Matic back in the midfield really, really does help us a hell of a lot. So I just need to make a change to that one. But I should have Ross joining me. How you doing, pal?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good. Have you seen the team news?
I have done.
And what's your thoughts on that? No, Martial on the bench. He's gone with Dalot, who I think more than deserves to start a game anyway. Maybe Martial's just not quite fit for this game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's probably a little bit of tactical impetus in it as well, but we can all assume if Martial was 100% fit, he'd definitely be starting. But Dalot's been awesome, actually. He hasn't started the last couple of games, but he's come on quite early on against Liverpool and against PSG, and he was fantastic in both games, actually. So I've been really impressed with him, with the youngster. So I'm really pleased for him to start today. And I'm actually also really pleased for Fred as well, because he's obviously rested McTominay, Pereira, because they played big roles in midweek, but so did Fred. And Fred was actually fantastic. And I'm really, really excited to see not only Fred, but Pogba in the same team together, because if them two can gel, they're our best attacking midfielders that we have. Playing both of them, I think it's brave, and I think it's also clever. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that, because it would have been easy to play McTominay instead of Fred today.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think McTominay's done fantastically well in the Manchester United shirt, and we've certainly needed him to do that. But I've also said that I think that when it comes to if Matic is back fit, then I would drop McTominay, because Matic is better than McTominay, and I don't think McTominay and Matic in the midfield helps Pogba. Whereas Fred, Herrera's not here. Fred is closest to Herrera in the fact that he is more dynamic and he's better on the ball. So I'm encouraged by that. I don't think it's anything negative about McTominay at all. I just think it's Matic is back. Matic is better than McTominay. Matic goes to the bench.
Absolutely. I think if we hadn't played midweek, I don't think we'd have chucked Matic straight in there. But I think you've probably got McTominay that's not 100% on fitness levels because of what he gave us midweek, which was everything. So I think that Matic naturally comes back into it. And yeah, you're right. He will always be in that squad because of that. I just got a message from Draughty saying your audio's dropped low. Don't know if that means anything to you, Mark.
Okay, let me just have a quick look. It does sometimes do this. It shouldn't do it, but it does sometimes do this. Let me have a quick look. And it has, yeah. I don't know why it keeps doing it, but thanks for that. Everyone should get me a little bit louder now, which is good. Apologies for that. It keeps doing it. Probably need a new laptop. But there we go. It will sort itself out, everybody. Don't worry, it will be fine now. So yeah, I've got the right team up for everybody there. We've got De Gea in goal, Smalling, Lindelof, Shaw, Young, Matic, Fred and Pogba, with Dalot, Lukaku and Rashford. You've got Greenwood and Martial on the bench for you all there. So let's have a look at the old Arsenal lineup as well. I think that's going to be very, very important. Let's have a quick look. Have you seen the Arsenal lineup, Ross, at all?
Do you know what? I haven't yet. And again, this is going to sound really big-headed from myself. I'm not interested in it, to be honest. I think I said to you earlier. Go on, you go.
Yeah, I can read it out. I mean, it's Leno in goal, Maitland-Niles, who, I would hope, whether it's Rashford or Martial, can tear them apart because they're shit. Socrates, Koscielny and Monreal, Kolasinac, Xhaka, Ramsey, Ozil, Aubameyang, Lacazette. So they've gone with that's hard to tell when it's got. I think it's a 5-3-2. I think it's a 5-3-2 from Arsenal because they've got Socrates, Koscielny, Monreal, Kolasinac, and Maitland-Niles, who, as far as I'm aware, they're all five of them are defenders. So it looks like they're going with a 5-3-2. And one thing I would say about Emery is he is a manager who, tactically. He's a good manager tactically, Emery. So they're obviously going to try and play a different way because we pretty much schooled them last time.
Yeah, but what Emery has done is he has continued the Arsenal style of football. He hasn't really done a lot to change it in my eyes. So I think you know what you're going to get from Arsenal today. And they need to play five at the back because their centre-backs are so poor. They've all got to cover for how poor each other is, and there's no standout there at all. It's an absolute myth that Koscielny's decent. He really isn't. And just based on that, I mean, I look at that back five, and I think Lukaku and Rashford are going to give them nightmares today. I really do. Maybe not Lukaku of a month ago, but the Lukaku I'm seeing at the minute is the Lukaku we brought. And Rashford's Rashford. We all know what he gives us. And the way I feel today about this game is that the 11 put out on the pitch, if both teams play to their potential, United still win this all day long.
I must just ask you, because it's the normal... the audio should be fine now, everybody, so just refresh your page. There was a problem with it at the start. Hands up, it was my fault. I was in a rush going live and I didn't check it. But what I want to ask you, everybody at home as well, is that as Matthew is me... Love you too, pal. Is the formation? I was arguing about this formation that everybody said we were playing a 3-5-2 in Paris, and it actually ended up being more of a 4-4-2. I've gone with a 4-3-3 with this, but there's a lot of people saying no, we're not lining up like that. Young's going to be a centre back, and Dalot's going to be a wing back, and we're playing a 5-3-2 with Rashford and Lukaku. I mean, look, I refuse to confirm a formation until the game starts because we've been proven wrong that a lot of time, and there's some people saying it'll be a 4-4-2. I don't know how that works because you've got to get... I think we'll play with a midfield three with Matic, Fred and Pogba. It's just whether I suppose it's a 5-3-2 or a 4-3-3. How do you think it will be? Because I think Dalot will play as a winger, I do, as a right-sided attacker.
Absolutely. United for the last couple of years have played kind of lopsided, and it'll be kind of like that again. But you basically give your right back and right winger to bomb forward as much as they want, as long as the other covers the other, if that makes any sense. It gives Ashley Young a bit of confidence knowing that he's got someone that if he overlaps can actually defend. Gives him more of a licence. And Dalot going forward has been amazing, to be honest. I mean, he was brushing past PSG players that they weren't even there. And Luke Shaw seems to be good enough for me to be able to do that both jobs on his own. He can bomb forward and cover for himself. He's that good at the minute, to be honest. I think it is what it is. It's that it's two up top. It's the three in midfield. We're not playing five at the back. Ashley Young will not play centre back. It's ludicrous.
Red Baron says, is it a myth that Ross and Paul are the same person? You can tell you're old school when you're even mentioning Paul. He's not been on for ages, to be fair. But I can confirm that they are very much different people. Formation says, genuine, real guy. Look, I read the live comments and go with what you like, really, because the formation with United is never the same. We could be playing a diamond in the midfield. We could do a 4-4-2 diamond with Pogba the head of the diamond, Matic the base of the diamond, and Dalot and Fred as that as well. So, but look, I must just mention as well, because I have got the Chelsea game on. They're losing 1-0 to Wolves with 10 minutes to go, and all I'm looking at is the clock. Please go down quick. I don't even care if Chelsea draw. as long as they don't win, I think that's a massive result for us. And when I take a look at the league table, Ross, I mean, Spurs losing to Southampton yesterday, we know they've got to go to Liverpool and Man City. And when you look at the league table at the moment, Chelsea, if they don't win, don't go above us. They're on 56 points at the moment. Even if they get a draw, 57. Arsenal are on 57 in fifth. We're on 58 in fourth. And then you've got Spurs in third in 61. Look, if Chelsea don't win this game, they're going to stay down in sixth. So even if Arsenal were to win, we would be fifth with 58 points, and we would be still 3 points off third. So it's really tight. I think what I'm trying to say is that if we were to win, we would open up a gap on ourselves and Chelsea, on Arsenal and Chelsea, and be right up there with Spurs. So it's a massive opportunity for United if they can find the result today, especially the win.
Yeah, do you know what, mate? It made me piss myself all week listening to TalkSport, and they were all talking about this top four race of United, Arsenal and Chelsea. No one was even crediting Tottenham of being in it. Tottenham were always miles out in front. It was 3 points, and that could be gone today. If you ask me who's got the least of chance of getting in, I know they're in the spot, but I think Tottenham are really on a downturn of form at the minute, and my money would be on them not getting the top four spot. And I'm hoping that United get this. Today is massive for points wise. The Arsenal United derby isn't what it was, but for what it is today for United, if we win this, it's almost ours. And that sounds crazy with the amount of games left, but you look at the Tottenham's running, they're going to drop hella points come the last sort of 8 games of the season. So I think it's ours to lose. And today, if we get that win, I think, we're odds-on favourites for it, to be honest. But I just really hope and pray that we have this buttoned up, pretty much mathematically done before we play City, because I could not bear the thought of going into that City game knowing that we have to win. But if we win, we hand the title to Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few people talking about a 3-4-1-2 in the live comments, and I was just looking on social media there. I don't see how we do a 3-4-1-2, because you'd have to play Young or Shaw or Dalot as a centre-back with Smalling and Lindelof, and Arsenal are playing 2 up front, so I can't see we're going to play a 3-4-1-2. I don't think we've ever played a 3-4-1-2, so I don't think we'll be doing that. I would go more with 4-4 diamond 2 or 4-3-3, which is how I've set it up. But I don't think we'll be playing a back 3, because you'd play another centre-back if you're going to do that. It's still 1-0 to Wolves, about 10 minutes to go in that. I mean, like I say, the longer that goes, the better. Obviously, we'd love Wolves to win, but even if they can get a draw, it would be good. A win today would put us on a genuine path for finishing third end of the season, says Craig Warburton. And Useless Axe says it's 3-4-1-2. Young is the centre-back, sadly. I cannot see that, Ross. I mean, Ashley Young's for me, I think he's probably been our worst player. I think he only gets picked because he's got something round his arm. I can't imagine that we're going to use him as a centre-back in a game like this. I mean, we're just moving him further and further away from his best position, which is a winger.
Mate, if he's our worst player, Eric Bailly's pushing him bloody far with it, because he's been atrocious every time I've seen him play, to be honest. But Ashley Young ain't a centre-back at all. He is barely a right-back, get that. He needs a lot of cover around him. I do like him as a captain, though. But no, he's not centre-back for me today, not at all.
I think a lot of people in the live comments don't learn their lesson, that this is the same argument we were having on Wednesday night, and you think you know the formation because One Football app or MUTV or BBC have put it out, and they've got about as much clue as I've got, or Ross has got, or any of you've got. They don't know the formation. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer walks out with his team sheet and says, and we're playing a 3-4-1-2? He doesn't want Arsenal to know, so he's not going to put it out anyway. We could play a 3-4-1-2. I'd be very, very surprised, but I'd be absolutely amazed if we did that. So anybody who's saying we're definitely doing this, we're definitely doing that, unless you've got a blue tick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer next to your name, then I ain't going to listen to you. But just looking at Wolves on the break again here. Very good on the break. We've got them in the cup next week, haven't we? But that will take care of itself. What's your score? How do you think it's going to go then, Ross? We were messaging each other before. You're very confident. So how do you think it's going to go?
I think it'll be a quite a fast, dynamic game, and I think Arsenal will have a lot of the ball today. And I think that'd be United surrendering it, to be honest, because we've had a really tough midweek fixture. I know they lost, but that was a canter, to be honest. They lost that. So I think we're going to hit them on the break, and we'll destroy them on the break today. I think we'll win 2-3-0, to be honest.
I'd love that. I tell you what's interesting though, because when I don't know whether you saw any of the videos I did with Robbie, and they're very. They submitted the fact that we're favourites, but they were like very bullish and like, oh, you know, you're getting ahead of yourselves. But I remember what the Europa League's like for us, and obviously we did win it, but we had to give up on the league in April because it was getting ridiculous playing Thursday, Sunday. I think it's probably a little bit too soon to be impacting on Arsenal, but the reality is they did play just over 2 days ago with over 45 minutes with 10 men with pretty much their best team. I think the first 20 minutes is key in this game because obviously it's Man United, it's at the Emirates, it's a big game for them. But I think if this game goes 0-0 at half time, I think we will run away with it because we'll be the fitter team. We've got decent players to come off the bench like Martial. I think if Arsenal are going to get anything out of this game, they're going to have to do it in the first sort of 20 minutes, half an hour, because I think that they will tire. I think fatigue will happen, and I also think if we were to get another goal, Arsenal are weak mentally, and so I think the first 20 minutes, half an hour is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how Arsenal fans can possibly think that they should get anything out of this game. Jesse Lingard turned their club into a laughingstock twice. And that will always live with them, to be honest. So I also think Emery's a B-Tech Jose Mourinho. He tore PSG up from the inside, and they hated him. And he's landed himself the Arsenal job. And he's already started making enemies there. I don't rate him. I don't rate Arsenal's players. I don't think their signings were that great at all. I look at that 11, and man for man, I think I saw a combined 11 of the two teams. I think maybe one Arsenal player got into it, and it wasn't even Aubameyang. I mean, I don't rate their team at all.
It's funny. I mean, Ross doesn't like Arsenal. Doesn't rate them either. German Whip says Arsenal 1, United 1, strong Arsenal team. Look, I want to win this game, but to be honest with you, if we don't get beat, I still think it's a good result. I think there could be an element of disappointment if we don't win it, but if we don't get beat, I think that's not a terrible result for us. But obviously, we're going for 10 away wins in a row, which is just absolutely marvellous. I mean, I don't know who the referee is. I don't know whether anyone knows the ref, but I think the referee could have a big part in this. I've got a feeling there's going to be a red card, and I don't even think it's going to be for United. I think that Xhaka is a right nut job, and I just think that, you know, without Torreira, he's going to have to run that midfield. I think Paul Pogba always tends to have a good game against Arsenal as well because he's got the measure of them, and if we can get Pogba on the ball, running with the ball, I think they might. I think I can see a red card for them. I really do.
Yeah, that's a good point with Pogba actually, because the one time I see Pogba really struggling is when people get stuck into him, get at him, and Arsenal don't do that. They give him the space, and that's when Pogba thrives. You give Paul Pogba space, he will single-handedly tear you a new one, and that's their biggest problem. And yeah, I think he'll have a great game today, and I think will drive us forward.
I must just ask you as well in regards to United, and I mean, it's a fantastic week. There's a lot of people clambering for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to be given the job full time. I mean, where do you stand on that? Not that I don't think there's a living United fan who doesn't want him to be the manager, but when's your sort of theory as to when they will give him the job?
I think we all know he's got the job, right? He's getting offered that job in the summer, regardless. I think it'd be foolish to announce it before the end of the season because it can only go wrong. It can't get any better than it is now. It can only go wrong, and then it'll always be, you know, should they have announced it? Did that turn our form around? So just keep it going, and it makes the job easier for him because all the media questions, every press conference, he can just bat it off and go, look, I'm only here till the summer. I'm just doing my best. You know, it kind of works at the minute. Announce it in the summer, and it will give us all a lift as well before he starts getting stuck into his transfers.
Hannibal Wolf says, if you were to say which formation he's playing, 4-4-2, 5-3-2 and 4-1-2-1-2, I'd go 4-3-3, which is the formation I've put up there. I mean, as I said, if it's not that, I think it'll be the diamond. What about you, Ross? Willian's just had a good shot save for Chelsea, but it's still 1-0 Wolves.
Do you know what? I can't really answer the question because every time I look at United line up, I don't actually see a patterned 4 and a bank of 3 and then a 2. United have always played very lopsided, and it'll be like that today. And sometimes it'll look like a 5 at the back, other times it'll look like a 3, other times it may look like a 4. I like that about United, and I like that about Solskjaer. It's very fluid, it's very adaptive, and that is something that Jose couldn't do with his team.
An old brownie said, would you sign Son from Spurs? I don't think that United and Spurs really need to have much of a relationship this summer. Ross, I don't know about you. I mean, Pochettino's off the table now, and Spurs are always a pain in the arse to deal with anyway. So I think you've got to go and look for your own players, and the players that we bring in, I would rather we were bringing in the next Son rather than the Son. I'm not really up for these Sanchez, Matic sort of signings anymore. I want us to promote youth and buy younger players and make them into our players.
Yeah, he's obviously a fantastic player, but for me, if you're buying Son, Martial's not playing. And for me, as a United fan, I'm not talking about their quality, just as who they are. Martial or Son. For me, it's Martial all day. I absolutely love the guy. And I think Son's hit his potential as a footballer. I think he's really playing at the top of his ability. I don't think Martial's unlocked an eighth of what he's got in him, and we can all see it. So for me, it's a no, unfortunately. I'm going to keep Martial.
Roy Ing Nielsen says, a Manchester United friend of mine died just when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's playing career was over, a little before social media was created. He would have loved this. The United stand, this is for him. Thank you. Oh, that's very nice of you, mate, and thank you very much for that. And I'm sure he would be over the moon that Manchester United have gone back to their roots with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think Ross is right there. I mean, when we watched the game on... I've watched the PSG game back a couple of times now just because it was an amazing game, and I think a lot of people said, well, it's 4-4-2 because I was trying to blame Ashley Young for the goal, saying where was he, and Bailly was the right back. But I think we were actually meant to be playing with a back five at times. And then when we, it was like, and what I'm trying to say is that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics are very hard to read, which is what you were just saying there. They are very hard to read because they are very fluid. And for 5 minutes they can be one thing, and then for 5 minutes they're another. So I think people get bogged down in formations and tactics, but I think United under Ole are very, very, very adaptive, and they can change 4 or 5 times in one game.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I love about it. The players are receptive to it. They listen to Ole. They know that he's only got the best intention of the team and the players at heart, and it is adaptive, and they do it well. Sometimes, even against PSG, the Bay thing, whether he was injured or not, I think he took him off because it just wasn't working. There's this rumour that Ole's this happy, lovely guy and all he's doing is patting people on the back. He isn't. He is ruthless. He's dropped players. He's done all the right things, if you ask me. He got rid of Fellaini. I mean, he's not this happy-go-lucky. Well, he is. It's what he portrays to us. He's got a ruthless streak to him as well, and I think that's what's kicking him on. And the players respect him, but they listen to him as well.
It's still 1-0 to Wolves. We're into the 90th minute. Chelsea, if I remember already, are 2 points behind us anyway. And they would be... I think they've got a game in hand on us. Let me just have a check. Chelsea have played 28, so they'll have played 29 games. And they'll still be 2 points behind us. So even with the game in hand, if we would win today, that sorts them out. But I would have expected Chelsea to beat Wolves today. So if they don't beat them, that's a real big bonus for Manchester United. 4 minutes of stoppage time and a corner's just been cleared. So whatever happens, that's a good result for us, Ross, because I don't think they'll win it from here. Famous last words, unless they score from this, and Wolves have cleared that. So I don't think, even if they get one back, I don't think they're going to have time to get 2.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't... I expected Liverpool to bottle it today, but not Chelsea. I thought this would be a win all day long. But Wolves are tough. You did say we have got them soon. But Chelsea, for me, are the ones that are not going to push us all the way to top 4.
Oh, they've scored. And it's Hazard. They have scored.
Yeah. They won't get another. They won't get another.
Good goal, to be fair, from Hazard. But... They shouldn't get another. If they did get another, you'd have to start thinking about it. So we'll keep an eye on that. But just looking at the form below me for Arsenal, I mean, our form's obviously fantastic. We're unbeaten in the league. 2 draws and 4 wins from the last 6 games. But Arsenal, last 6 games, they've got 4 wins, a draw. Their only loss was Man City, which I think most people would lose to. So, I think we all laugh at the Europa League games, but Arsenal fans, I've got to be honest, are very, very confident. Very confident indeed that they can do something. I'll tell you what, Chelsea are probably going to nick this. They're all over bloody Wolves at the moment.
Mate, Arsenal's confidence is just blind. I really don't know where they get it from. If I was an Arsenal fan, I'd be crapping myself watching this game.
Keeper should have got that, but good goal, says Ken Peacock. Hazard scored. Yep. And it's still 1-1. As I said, I would like Wolves to win. I think we all would. But as long as they can hold on, that's still 2 points dropped from Chelsea. So let's just wait and see if they can do that. Ross has gone 3-0. I'm going to go 3-1 United. I think that there's plenty of goals in there for us, to be honest. I think there's plenty of goals in there. I don't know. I think the one thing that's been worrying me a little bit is I'm just a little bit concerned about the impact that Wednesday might have on us. And I think this is another big test for Ollie, really, to get the players pumped up, because I know Arsenal have no spine, but I just know that in the first 20 minutes they will put some tackles in, they will go at us, and it's just about not being smothered ourselves, I suppose.
I tell you what, mate, the vegan Chris Smalling pocketed Mbappe and Di Maria midweek. If he thinks, as you call him, the French, the what is it? Gabonese Jamie Vardy. If he thinks he's getting past our Chris Smalling Lindelof today, he's got another thing coming. I think them two have developed a partnership. It really works. They're solid as hell. They're not getting by them today for me.
Yeah, I mean, our defence has been very, very good, and I think that's the thing that when we were going to Paris, obviously we went there with a very weakened team, but we've been weakened in our front six. I mean, at various times over the last few games, it's been Rashford and Pogba, and obviously on Wednesday it was only Rashford, who effectively is one of the first teamers from the front six. But the back four has been, I mean, what's your opinions on Luke Shaw? Because I fight a losing battle sometimes with like rants and flex and some people in the live comments, and even when I did the combined 11 down the Emirates, you got people saying 1-1. It's 1-1, by the way, which is good result for us. But then you got Smalling, who's stepped up really well, and then Lindelof's been fantastic. De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world. I think Ashley Young's a weakness, and most teams do get at us there, but it's one of the things that probably doesn't get enough sort of focus. But our back four, I don't want to say too much because we could get beat 4-0, but I don't think we will do, because our back four is very, very, very solid.
The Luke Shaw thing really pisses me off, actually, because this is a guy that consistently, week after week, every week, first name on the team sheet, his first job is to defend. And by God, does he defend. The amount of low crosses I see, he's a wing-back that tucks in as a centre-back when the ball's on the other's flank and does it so well, but yet can get out to his marker when the ball gets switched. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. Look, he might not be, he gets lauded about as the best left-back in the world, potentially. I don't think he's there yet, but consistently pulling out 7 out of 10s is underrated. It really is. Injury-free, phenomenal. And every now and again, he'll switch it on. He'll bomb forward. And it just showed the other day, I think he created a goal when we needed it. I honestly love the guy. I think his first name on the team sheet, left back's not an issue. And then there's nobody pushing him. When we go in the summer, we're not looking at left backs. Luke Shaw has nailed that. And I actually love the guy. I love his attitude. And I just love what he's doing at United at the minute.
Just a confirmation for a few people as well. They're asking about the bench. Martial is fit. Martial is on the bench. So no issues there. Mason Greenwood also on the bench as well. Scott McTominay, I think Rojo and Bailly. I forget who else is on the bench. Romero, there is one other player, but I'm sure some people will get there. But a few people not happy that Chelsea got a late equaliser. Really couldn't give a damn, really. They've dropped 2 points today. They should be beating Wolves at home. They have got a game in hand, and they've just dropped 2 points today, which basically means that even if they win their game in hand, it's still, they don't have an advantage on everybody. It's just really, really tight. And let's not forget, Chelsea have got to come to Old Trafford, and I firmly believe we will beat them at Old Trafford. So I'm not too worried about Chelsea, Ross.
No, me neither. Like I say, Arsenal are a little bit of a worry to me. I just think that top four is in our hands completely, and we're the only team out of that whole top. Well, we're the informed team in the Premier League out of every club. I find it strange, and people are not really still at this moment in time taking United seriously. But for me, this is not just top four. This is momentum going into next season. If we're going to be title challengers, it's this sort of form. And I remember Liverpool doing it a few seasons back. They sort of kicked on towards the end of the season. They brought it into the start of next. And I'm just so hoping we can do that. and also go on a couple of cup runs as well, which we're still in. We're still in all three in theory.
Yeah.
Treble.
T Ballard says, does Greenwood have the correct font on? Yeah, I mean, I was just laughing about that last night. PSG trying to get us kicked out for the wrong font. Pereira is the other player on the bench, so it's Romero, Rojo, Bailly, Pereira, McTominay, Martial and Greenwood. But Lingard and Herrera are back in training. Not quite ready for today, but I mean, this is the thing, Ross, as well. You know, we've come through... I mean, that Southampton result looks even better now because you see what they did to Spurs yesterday, and I thought Southampton played really well against us, so it just shows you what a good 3 points that was. Obviously, the win against Palace, very, very good away from home. The PSG result, fantastic. And all done with a major injury crisis, and we're starting to come out of that injury crisis now. We've got a few players back today. I think we'll have a couple more back for Wolves. Then you've got an international break, so you'd expect everyone to be back going into, and it feels great to say this, a Champions League quarter-final, 2 games there, and big games in the league. So we're coming through that injury crisis as well.
Yeah, but I know I say this with all the forthwit of hindsight, but I genuinely wasn't worried about our injury crisis. And that was down to one man, and that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I knew that when the going gets tough against PSG, he'd bring on Chon, he'd bring on Greenwood, and that would excite me, and that refreshes the team. And I think actually, it sort of the stars aligned. It come right, you know. They added the impetus, that young, youthful, and I just think that it's great. And I've never been worried, and I think Solskjaer has just put that into the team, because you can guarantee if that was Jose in that PSG game, he'd have just left the same 11 on all game. He'd never have done that. He'd never have put the young lads on. And I almost feel a little bit sorry for them with the players coming back. Yes, it's great. We need them back. We need Martial. We need Herrera. But I do feel a little bit sorry, because I want to see more of Chong. I want to see more of Greenwood, Gomez. They're future United stars, and they need to start embedding themselves in this team. And we've got the manager doing it as well.
AJ's back. For God's sake, why have Salty Souness on again? I think they've got Carragher and Souness talking about this game, which God knows why. I think it was because... Well, actually, it makes no sense because Liverpool was on BT at lunchtime. So why have Carragher and Souness as the studio pundits for a Man United Arsenal game? Absolutely makes no sense. But you shouldn't be watching that anyway. You should be watching this. And R. Cantona says Roy Ing Nielsen. Thoughts on Greenwood, Vivano? It's interesting that Greenwood is the young player selected today, Ross, because it could have been Chong. We've seen him on the bench. It could have been Gomez. But now Greenwood's actually back fit. It's Greenwood who's the young lad who gets the nod.
Yeah, look, Greenwood is phenomenal talent. I've seen a lot of him in videos, granted, because I haven't ever been to watch a United youth game, but I'm just really excited. My brother was asking me the other day about United's youth, and do I think they'd make it? I think they all will. And by all of them, I mean that trio of Gomez, Chong and Greenwood. I think they're all going to be on our team. I know you've got the midfielder, I forget his name, is it Garner? Yeah, as well, maybe. I don't know too much about him, I have to say, but I'm just excited for this. I've been saying to my brother that this is the best youth team I can remember United having since a very, very long time. Maybe even the class of '92, even though I don't think they live up to that at all. But yeah, it's just exciting times for United, and I'm always apprehensive. And there's a lot of people on Twitter saying we've got to go out, sign 4 players. I do get it. At the same time, we have to show that we're going to be promoting these lads. You have to show that Greenwood, Chong and Gomez are going to get more games than they did this season, next season. And I don't want signings to stunt that.
GTI Red Star Gaming says only PSG are stupid enough to pay £100 million for Bale. I'll ask you about that one, actually. The ref is John Moss, says Adam Morris, and Lukaku, Rashford both starting. Greenwood makes sense, says Virgil Hainsey. Remember, we've got Martial on the bench, though, and he can play up front. Gareth Bale, any part of you that thinks he would be a good player to bring back to bring to Manchester United?
Nope.
Good.
not any Premier League team should be looking at Gareth Bale. I mean, look, he's a great, fantastic player, and he's done wonders for Real Madrid, and I think they should be trying to hang on to him. He's very injury prone. The Premier League, you play more games than any other league. It's so much more physically demanding. I think going away from the Premier League's prolonged his career a little bit, and he's still been massively injury prone at Madrid anyway. If he come back to a Premier League team, I think you look at the next Jack Wilshere. I don't want to pay another player huge amounts of money for them to sit on the injury table. And I think United need to look at that with future signings. What is their injury record like? If it's sketchy, stay clear. And Gareth Bale's is as sketchy as anyone in world football.
What's happened to Jack Wilshere anyway? I mean, just dropped into my head there. I know he doesn't play for Arsenal anymore. Did he go? Is it into a West Ham player or something? He's just probably injured again, actually.
He's out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, what a surprise. Anyway, mate, thanks for coming on for the team news. Really, really appreciate it. And you're going to go 3-0. Ross is very, very confident. Just affirm that for us, Ross.
I am. I'm going to go 3-0. And just before I go, I've never given a shout out on the United stand, but would you mind if I give one?
Yeah, go, yeah.
A good friend of mine, Ben, today has had a little baby boy called Albie, and he's going to be a future Red. So a massive shout out to me, mate Ben, because first time dad, and he's given birth to a future Red, which is fantastic. Yeah,
you can't be born on a day that United lose. You know that definitely means we're going to win. I'm confident even more now.
Cheers, pal. Catch you later.
I'll speak to you later, mate. Cheers, pal.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
I just want to talk about actually something in the live comments. We're half an hour away from kickoff. The team is the team that's on my left there. So it is De Gea, Young, Smalling, Lindelof and Shaw, Matic, Fred and Pogba. I think Ross is spot on about that. I'm really excited about that midfield three. I think that with McTominay and Pereira and Pogba, it's done a very good job. But on paper, Matic, Fred and Pogba is far better. And I think it hopefully will cause Arsenal more problems. And then Dalot, Lukaku and Rashford, which are, Martial on the bench, maybe not quite fit to start the game. Obviously fit to be on the bench, but maybe struggling for match fitness. Impact player. Really, really pleased that he's back involved, but very, very happy with that team as well. The Arsenal team looks like it's going to be a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2. So they've got Leno in goal, Maitland-Niles, Koscielny, Socrates, Monreal and Kolasinac, who as far as I'm aware are all 5 defenders. So that looks like a 5. You've then got Ramsey, Ozil and Xhaka with Lacazette and Aubameyang. So quite an expansive team from Arsenal. I mean, I would hope that Ozil does his normal disappearing act, the Invisible Man. Lacazette and Aubameyang are obviously dangerous if they're given opportunities, and I think Aaron Ramsey's a decent player. I've just got a feeling Xhaka's a player that we really need to get at. I think he's a hothead, and he always seems to be even more hot-headed when he's against United. So I would hope that the referees are strong with him, because I think he likes to put a stupid tackle in, so I would be looking at getting him. But talking about stupid tackles, I don't know anyone saw it at lunchtime, the Aston Villa-Birmingham City derby, where a fan ran on the pitch and hit Jack Grealish. I mean, it's not relevant to this game at all, but just ridiculous, isn't it? It's football, for God's sake. I mean, what gets into these fans' minds that they think running on a pitch and punching a player is a good idea? I mean, people are talking about banning them from football. He needs banning from. He needs to be put in a bloody cell for 5 years at least. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous and sickening, and that's what I've got to say about that. What do you think about De Ligt as the centre back and Rabiot as the defensive midfielder? Says Alex R7. I think that the transfer window will take care of itself. I don't know whether anybody heard the comments from Solskjaer that were released last night from the press conference a couple of days ago, because they have a embargoed section, and he basically said that, look, the club wants to be promoting youth, that's what we're all about, but adding one or maybe 2 players in the summer would be nice. You can take that literally and say 1 or 2 is not enough, or you can take it that 1 or 2 means 3 or 4, and he's just not going to say 3 or 4 to undermine the squad currently. My stance on this is, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer only gets 1 or 2 players in the summer, we've still got the same problem at the club, which is penny pinching from the owners. He should be given at least £200 million and at least 3 top-class players. That's what this squad needs to go to the next level, as far as I'm concerned. But we'll see. That's about the summer. We've got a massive game, obviously, coming up against Arsenal. I have always been very consistent. I do concern myself a little bit about this game. Al-Lahal Thurbet says, April the 5th, 1980, we beat Liverpool 2-1 on my birthday. There you go. There you go. And if you're going to be a United fan, you don't want to be born on a day where they lose. I must just shout out as well, we've got loads of people watching. Please do smash a like on the video. Let's see if we can get 2,000 likes before kickoff. Little bit of superstition that we have, that if we hit that, then we should win. And we did it on Wednesday night, and we pulled off one of the most famous results of our history. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're getting very, very close to 400,000 subscribers, which is a massive landmark for the channel. Thanks for everybody who does get involved and watch the content. We've got some. We've had a great. Ever since Mourinho's left, we've had a lot of positivity around the channel. A lot of people watching our content. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. We've got obviously match chat live when the matches are on, match reaction, fan cams. Flex is there today. We should have certainly a couple of the Arsenal Fan TV lot on. They said they would come on. I suppose it depends on the result. I'm sure if they win, they'll all want to come on. But if they lose, we should get at least a couple of them on. So loads to go on. Make sure you subscribe, get involved with the United Stand. Lots going on. And 2 weeks today, just very, very quickly, 2 weeks today, I'll have just finished the United Stand football team trials. So that's coming up for you as well. I am struggling a little bit with a cold. Nothing's going to stop me watching this game. You know, nothing would stop me doing that. Nothing would stop me doing the United Stand either. But I am struggling a little bit. That's why I keep going for my nose. And come on Arsenal, says Thomas Holland. Someone's got to support them. Love the content, says Marco. Keep it up, 3-1 United today. I think a lot of people are going 3-1. I've gone 3-1. Jeeves, though, says, I'm not that confident about this game. We might lose your heads after PSG, or the drinks may take their hangover. We have to wait and see. I've been saying this for a few days now. There's something I don't feel right about this game. I don't know why. And I'm hoping that is just, I don't know. I suppose a little bit of, what's the word? Not je ne sais quoi. A bit of humility, I suppose. Maybe I just think, well, you know, we've had such a good run. Surely something's going to go wrong at some point. I don't know. Sergio Hernandez, Mark, after seeing the Chelsea game, how do you think United will do against Wolves? I don't really, to be honest, Sergio, with all due respect, I couldn't give a shit about Wolves. That's an FA Cup game, and the FA Cup is the least priority for us. The Premier League is where it's at, and the Champions League is where it's at. So, FA Cup game next week. Looking forward to it, but don't really care about it at the moment. We've got this game in front of us. We'll think about Wolves when Wolves comes along. And, excuse me, Red Baron says, I feel like we wasted 6 years messing about with managers. We did. But you know what? We could have wasted another 6 years. At least we're now getting back to where we need to be. We don't have Jesse Lingard this time to dance on the dance floor, says not the Rad Bed. I tell you what, though. I mean, I think we miss Jesse Lingard. I think we miss Ander Herrera. I think we miss Anthony Martial starting for us. But I think Lingard, in some ways, could have been a distraction today. Would he have been fully fit anyway if he had got himself back? And also, Lingard is sort of the banter icon, isn't he? He's the one that, you know, you saw DT's reaction. I fucking hate him, this, that, and the other. And many Arsenal fans feel that about Lingard. So I think in some ways that plays into our advantage that we don't have Lingard, because we can cope without Lingard. And he's not that figure that's going to get their crowd going. We want their crowd to be subdued. And I think Lingard would probably ignite them a bit. So I'm not too fussed about that. Greetings, Mark. Great work, says Fahad Aman. Thank you, Fahad. Faye Walker says it's going to be 2-0 to United. You can get your score predictions in if you like. Let us know where you're watching from as well. Arsenal will be bricking it, says Death Wish. I don't think they will for the first... I don't think Arsenal will be bricking it for the first 20 minutes. I think they are going to come out and go for it. So we'll see how that goes. Pogba will have a blinder today, says Craig Warburton. I think Pogba is key. I think that midfield three is key. I mean, to be honest with you, I was saying for a long time that Matic, Herrera and Pogba were the best balanced midfield in Europe at the moment. Maybe not the best individual players, but the balance of a patroller like a CDM like Matic, a box-to-box energy box like Herrera, and then Pogba with the freedom. A lot is on Fred today, because we've got Matic, the patroller, we've got Pogba. It's Fred who's got to have a big game today, and I hope that he does. What I would say about Fred is I have a feeling that Xhaka might get sent off. Fred picks up a lot of yellow cards. He does. Even in the few games he's played for us, he always seems to get a yellow card. Snack Savage says 7-1. Oh, imagine if we absolutely blitz them. That would be fantastic. It really would. Will Herrera leave this summer? Well, he is out of contract. Ridiculous situation. I don't think he will go. A few people talking about Coutinho. I mean, this was mentioned in the January transfer window, and it's been mentioned again that it's a come and get me plea for Coutinho. If we sign Coutinho, he's a good player, but it's always in my head that he's a Liverpool player. That's why I don't want him. Martial off the bench, maybe our pocket ace, says Virgil Hainsey. Well, remember, he came off the bench in the Champions League, in the FA Cup game and scored a goal, so a lot of eyes on Lukaku today. I mean, six goals in 3 games is not to be sniffed at. I think categorically my stance on Lukaku is if we get top 4, he deserves a mention. The goals he scored, especially against Southampton and Crystal Palace, will be pivotal in that top 4 race. And the goals he scored against PSG. Do I think that Lukaku's good enough to start for Manchester United? Of course he is. Of course he is. Would I start him if everyone was fit? No, I wouldn't. I think he's a he's the penalty box king, but he's the bird box king outside the box. He plays with a blindfold on. His first touch is like a brick wall. I still think he can improve on that though, so hopefully today he will. Because the one thing about Arsenal is you can bully them. And I'm just looking at him there, stepping over the ball, and it's like a tractor doing it. He's so slow with his legs. But in the box, he comes alive, and we need to get him in the box today. Norwegian Collector, do you think we should go for signing Rabiot on a free transfer? Would be perfect along signing Sancho, Skriniar and Wan-Bissaka. I think he'll go to Barcelona. I've always felt that. And Queen in the North, let's beat them 5-0 and go third. Is that what it takes to go third? Would you take Sergio Ramos if he leaves Madrid? Says the Jordat. No, he had his chance and he played us for a new contract. And Korshik Kamaran, Brexit or no Brexit, Liberal or Conservative? Too political, Korshik. Not going to talk about that. And Broski are, not that I means anything, but Anthony Martial and I have the same birthday, 12th of the 5th, 1995, and I hope he never leaves United. Well, there's not much chance of that at Broski at the moment because he's just signed his long-term contract. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we're getting very close to 398,000. It'd be nice to do that before kickoff. And please share the video as well. There's a share button underneath. You can share it on Twitter. You can share it on Facebook. Will we see Greenwood come on today, Mark? The Dillinger compound. I think when you look at the bench, the first substitution will always be Martial because he's one of our better players. Your second substitution will probably be a midfielder, so Pereira or McTominay. And then your third one, he's got a chance of being the third substitution. Of course he has. Depends how the game's going. But I look at United's run in there, and I think that the toughest games we've got after today, I mean, Everton away is tough. Wolves away is a little bit tough. But the toughest game we've got on paper away after today is Everton. Yes, we've got Chelsea and Man City at home, but that's Old Trafford. They'll take care of themselves. We come out of this game with a win. It gives us a 4-point gap on Arsenal. And I don't think Arsenal will catch us again. That's the incentive for us. I think the neutral would probably want Arsenal to win because then you've got third to sixth separated by about, 4 points? So, but there's a massive opportunity for United today. Massive opportunity. And I think that if we win, it gives us a huge chance to get top 4. If we lose, it just tightens things up. It doesn't mean we're not going to get top 4 if we lose. What do you think of Brandon Williams? Says Cheeky Chicken. I don't really know a lot about him, to be honest. I don't think that all these youngsters are going to make it. I don't think all the youngsters are going to make it, and we have got a lot. But I'd echo what Ross says. I think that Chong and Gomez are Chong, Gomez and Greenwood. I really do believe that they will make it. That'll be good. Okay. Oh, my nose is getting on my tits a little bit today, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll get Mad Marcus on and he can share the load. 3-1 is my score prediction. We've got a contribution from Nick P. He says Arsenal hardly ever play Lacazette and Aubameyang up front, which suggests they want to go for us early. I think they will burn out by 60 minutes. I think that's a cracking point by Nick P. I think the first 20 minutes is key. I think Arsenal know they played a big game with 10 men for 45 minutes, and they've got to try and win this game early on. I think the longer this stays level, the better for us. And Red Baron says, do you think all football clubs should have physiologists? It's treating the mental state of footballers. I think it's important. I think a lot of them do, Red Baron. Marcus, how you doing, pal?
Good afternoon. How are we all?
I think we're all good.
Yeah.
I think most people, are respectful of the fact that it is a difficult game for us today. But I would say, there are more confident people than not. Which there's nothing arrogant about that. We've got every right to be confident. How are you feeling?
Very confident. There's no need to be respectful of that load of crap in London, is there? We beat Paris Saint-Germain with reserves. We're going for them. We're on a high. 10 away wins on the bounce this one. So let's get at them and let's make sure they're in a game. Yeah,
100%. 100%. When you look at the match, what's your score prediction, actually?
Well, do you know what? I put a tweet out this morning before I'd even see the teams, and I said 3-1, which I'm gathering is the same as you and a lot of other people in the comments as well. But looking at the team lineup and seeing Ozil playing, and they're going to go with Aubameyang and Lacazette because Lacazette was missing from Thursday, I think this is going to be a good open game. And I think there's goals to be had here with the result of Spurs yesterday and Chelsea dropping points in the game before. I'm going to go 3-2 United.
I think it's a game that, well, I know it's a game, having spoken to the Arsenal Fan TV lads and seeing how many Arsenal fans are talking about it as well. It's a game that Arsenal have to win.
Yes.
If they lose it, they're in big bother. So they've got to win it. I think from our point of view, is it a must-win game to go to Arsenal? No. Is it? But it's a massive opportunity. And I think I always look at these games, and I think I look at this, like I said about Liverpool last week. Liverpool against Everton last week, they should have gone for it. And they didn't. And they took a point. And Klopp tries to pretend it's a good point. But actually, at the end of the season, that's 2 points dropped. And the same at Old Trafford against us when we were decimated. He settled for a point and he let 2 points go. And I think United today, it's a little bit like that. This is an opportunity to go and win a game and kill Arsenal's season. They'll be dead. Absolutely dead if we beat them today. It's not over for us if we lose. It's not over for us if we draw. But if we win, I think we give ourselves breathing space over Chelsea and Arsenal. And obviously our next game in the league after that is Watford at home. You'd expect to win that, and then you start to build some momentum. So it's a game that I think we've just got to get in the right. I think the only thing that worries me a little bit is we've just got to. How do we react to PSG? Do we react confident and a little bit too confident, or do we go to work like we always have under Ollie and we're set? But like Steve Chow says, under Jose, I would be dreading this now. Third is a target.
Definitely. I mean, to me, I think for us, we've got to go there and play exactly the same way as we did in the FA Cup. It was quite. I thought we were quite comfortable in the second half, to be honest. In the FA Cup against them, we beat them 3-1. Obviously, Martial came on, scored that goal, and I think near enough. Ollie's going to try and implement the same sort of tactics here. I think Arsenal have learnt their lesson from that game. I think they've gone with a 5 at the back myself. And after the battering they got in Paris on Thursday, I think for them, it's more important for them to win. It's more important for their fans to see a reaction here from the club and from Emery, because apparently, reports that Emery wasn't too happy after the game. And I saw the video, and a couple of the Arsenal Fan TV boys said that Robbie said that he saw him getting on the plane or whatever it was, to go back, and they were getting a bit of stick from a section of the fans. So I think it's more important that Arsenal got to win this game, definitely. But I think it's equally as important for us, because it sort of derails Arsenal's season. It makes Chelsea stand up and look at us and think, okay, we got to go to Old Trafford, in a few weeks' time. We got to get a result there to get any chance of top 4. And of course, Spurs have got some hard games with Liverpool as well. They've got to go to. So I think we've got to win this game, to be honest. A draw's not a bad result, but I think the way the results have worked out this weekend, we've got to win it.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for whoever gets the win today.
Definitely. And I think with Ollie at the wheel, as the saying goes, I can't see anything other but United win if they keep doing what they're doing and keep plugging away and being backed into a corner. They got the backs up against the wall, and I think we prove all the doubters wrong in the end.
A few people said, let me just read the super chat actually because it mentions you in it. It's CJ McClough Ball says, "Hi lads, thoughts on the Jack Grealish incident? Disgusting." I did speak about it a few minutes ago, so I'm not doing it again,
horrendous.
But it was disgusting.
Yeah.
But he also says, "Does Marcus like frosted shreddies?"
Do you know what? Funny enough, they're one of my favourite cereals. My other one is Cocoa Pops. So yeah, frosted shreddies. Yeah.
And Pradney Wadke says the last thing we need today is complacency. There's a few people in the live comments talking about Gary Neville had said that we should be prioritising trophies. Look, it's all about opinion, and I will not knock anybody's opinion. But I also heard him saying we need two top class centre backs. I mean, I've got to disagree with Gary on that. I have. I mean, does he not watch Victor Lindelof? I think we need one top class centre back. But also, prioritising trophies is all well and good. I think it's the great headline, we should go for trophies because that's what it's all about. Well, the FA Cup doesn't get you in the Champions League. So that trophy, for me, would be great to win, but it's low priority compared to the Champions League and the League. And the Champions League, look, we had a great night on Wednesday and it proves we can beat anybody, but that's a marathon. That is a big ask to win that. The priority is still, for me, the Champions League. Not the Champions League, the Premier League, because you could get that wrapped up relatively early and then you're in the Champions League. So I don't necessarily think that prioritising trophies is a good idea myself.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying because, the traditions of United battling for the league and battling for trophies, it's embedded in the club, throughout the history. So I understand what you're saying, but I think this season, injuries, our situation at the minute, I agree with you on this one. I think we got to make sure we're in the Champions League first and foremost next season, and then build in the summer.
Well, we're 5 minutes away from kickoff, everybody. I'm just going to start making sure that we've got everything set to go with the timer in that, because it says 1:31 at the moment, and that's not the timer or anything like that. It's just laziness from last time. And Niall Mottershaw says, Mark and Marcus, the best combination, 3-1 win today. So many people saying 3-1. So many people are saying 3-1. I really, really, really hope that we're going to be right with that one. Score prediction was 3-1 from both of us, Gage Relton. So there you go. And at least we are not in pink, says Dad Sweets. Yeah, I like the blue kit.
I like the pink kit, actually.
Well, the pink kit's very very famous now, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, that famous night in Paris Wednesday, and I think fatigue could be a bit of a factor here for Arsenal as well. I think we played Wednesday, they played Thursday. I think we've had an extra day's rest where they would have come back early hours Friday morning, rest day Friday, train Saturday, and then game Sunday. So I think that could play a factor in it. So give it 75 minutes. I think you'll probably start to see them drop off. But it's important for United to start this on the front foot. Go out there and push from the front, just like we did at Chelsea in those first 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happening. Get out there and press them back, because I think they're going to try and press us. I think it'll be a very, very fast start, actually. Mark, through what Gary said, do you think we should do a top two and the domestic cup winners as the Champions League entrance gives importance to the cup, says Avishak Chatterjee? Look, I wouldn't mind the cups getting more priority. I wouldn't mind the Champions League being a spot for the FA Cup. I'm all for all that. I agree with Gary Neville that cups should be the priority, but the reality is they're not, because the league still has a better reward than the FA Cup. Marty said he's scared. Look, it's a big game. It's a big game. I've said this a few times. There's nothing to be ashamed of to say that you're scared of playing Arsenal at the Emirates, because it's a big game for us. And Arsenal are banter FC, and United, we're fighting for fourth this year because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's only been our manager for half the season. If he'd been here the whole season, we wouldn't be anywhere near Arsenal. So they are a direct rival at the moment. He's had to catch them up. I think the gap was 8 points. We're now ahead of them. We're now going to their place. They need to win this game today. There's nothing wrong with being scared, but that's why we're live. We're all together, and let's bring it on.
It's a long time since we felt scared in a good way, scared in a way that we're looking forward to the match and seeing how it unfolds. going back 3 months ago, we'd be scared about how many we're going to get conceded. How many Liverpool are going to score on us. How are we going to get out of this game? With Mourinho's tactics. So I think I can understand people's feelings that they're scared and the nerves, but it's a good thing because we know even if we're 1-0 down or 2-1 down with 5-10 minutes to go, we've seen us come back. We scored 2 goals against Burnley in 8 minutes. We got the goals against Palace. The game again on Wednesday, so it can be done. So it's definitely not over until the fat lady sings for me today.
No, and look, I think the problem I've had with this game, because a lot of people have said, why are you not bantering Arsenal? Why are you not saying French Charlie Austin? And I think it's because there's 2 reasons really. One, the rewards in this game are far bigger than the FA Cup. If we got knocked out of the FA Cup, so what? You're over it very quickly. But this is a league game. This is what we're trying to achieve. This is the comeback to try and get into the top 4. And secondly, I don't like being favourites. I don't like going to the Emirates and being favourites. That to me is like, there's very few times in the Premier League history we've been to Highbury or the Emirates and been favourites. So I don't like being favourites. I think that football, especially this season, has a funny way of biting you in the ass when you are favourites. So I don't like being favourites, to be honest.
Do you know what? I think it's a fantastic show of faith by Ollie to give Fred the nod today as well. We've seen in the last few games, McTominay's been coming on in front of him. Pereira's been coming on in front of him. And I think, again, going back to Wednesday, that midfield 3 put a lot of work into that, a lot of running around without the ball. So I think you've got to give Ollie some credit there for putting Fred in the game today with showing him full trust as well.
Richard Thatcher says it's a bit of a flat atmosphere at the Emirates. I mean, I think there's a lot of flat. I think there's a. I mean, Jimbo74 says, afternoon, Mark. Hope you're well. Looking forward to the match. United to win. Thanks, Jimbo. Thanks for the contribution. I think a lot of atmospheres are like that these days within football grounds. I think there is that sort of flat atmosphere. And I think, even at Old Trafford, it's not as buzzing as it used to be. I just think it's the modern sort of way with football grounds, and they need to work on that. But the time is almost ready.
You get a tasty tackle in the first couple of minutes. That gives the crowd a lift, doesn't it? So I think Arsenal they'll be on the ball straight away. I expect Arsenal to come at us in the first few minutes, but I think it's going to go the same way as the FA Cup game, Mark. I really do. I think they're a little bit more defensive today, and I think that's probably because of what happened to them Thursday. They've got to show a bit of a reaction here without conceding an awful lot of goals.
Big game for Fred. Big game for Dalot. I think Dalot deserves the start. I think he's been brilliant when he's come on in the last
Definitely.
2 games. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the brilliance of Ollie, isn't it? Giving him a start, rewarding. Only 19 years of age. And Pogba back after a week off as well. I think the opportunities are there for United. I think we are going to miss Lingard. I think we are going to miss Herrera. I think we are going to miss Martial. But I don't think they're big enough misses to stop us winning this game.
Well, no, they're not. I mean, we've got... we were saying a few months ago, some of these players aren't good enough. But the way Ollie's come in and he's got them working,
we're off.
You'd have to say that they're worth their place in the squad at the minute. Lukaku, he's 6 in 3, I think, at the minute, 4 with his right foot. So again, he warrants his place in there, I think.
John Prashantham, thanks for the contribution. It's a 4-3-3, says Tristan Gift. I was just keeping an eye on that because we had the arguments about the formation. I'm just keeping an eye on the formation, actually, just to let's just wait a few minutes and see. To me, it looks more like it's not a 4-3-3 because I think Rashford and Lukaku are very much a front 2.
Front 2, yeah.
And
it's like 4-4-2 there.
Yeah, it's more 4-4-2 with Pogba to the left and Dalot to the right.
Yeah, and then we've got Matic.
But it'll change. It will adapt. Like Rashford will wander to the left, no doubt. But
yeah.
A minute gone. I'm calm, says Man United fan. Good to see. Let's get this done, says James Sanney.
The form that we've shown in recent weeks, since Ollie's come in, to be fair, the first couple of games you could see what he was trying. He was tinkering with, trying different players and giving everyone a chance. But I think now the run of form that we're in, I don't think there's anything to worry about today. I really don't. I think it's just a matter of when we score.
I'm just going to disappear there and just
cool.
change the lighting a little bit. I'm still here, but the lighting was just a bit off.
But Arsenal, Xhaka's picking up a lot of the ball in midfield, trying to spray it to Ozil. Ozil's.
Sorry, we just got a little bit dark.
Ozil, I mean, I don't think Ozil's going to cause much of a danger today. He's not been involved.
Oh, bloody hell. What a chance.
Yeah.
Gareth Hom, thanks for that. Afternoon, Mark, nearly at 400,000 sub. Let's go. Lovely crossing by Kolasinac. And I tell you what, neither United centre-back goes for this. Well, it's Shaw and Lindelof. And it's Lacazette can't get a foot on it, to be fair. But if he did, it would have probably been 1-0.
Definitely. First warning sign for United. So, the crowd will be buoyed by that. Emery's out on the touchline having a look. But United certainly got to quieten the crowd down, even though they're sounding a bit flat. They've got to try and dominate the game. Take the sting out of the game. Play United's pace, not Arsenal's pace. Shaw's got to throw in down the left-hand side. Wasted. I think certainly down our left-hand side is a place that we can attack with Nathan Miles down there playing as right back or right wing back. How's your cold, Mark? All right.
I think it's probably at his worst at the moment. Yesterday was the start. Today a little bit off, but United it's very early days to say United don't look up for it, but we're not closing down, says Ravens Claude, and Lucan says, where's Marcus' confidence now? I don't think we're going to be unconfident because Arsenal have had a good 2 minutes. It's a 90-minute
This is
game.
the way the FA Cup game started. You'd expect Arsenal to have a lot of the ball. They're the home team, but it's down to United here to silence this crowd and play their game. Don't press any panic buttons. We've only just kicked off. An overhead chance there for Aubameyang, which is miles high.
Well, apparently if Aubameyang scores, it's because DT and Troops had a word with him. So, yeah.
I think he was offside there anyway, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He looked miles off, didn't he?
I mean, obviously their front two are a danger, but I'm quite confident that Lindelof and Smalling can deal with him, as long as Smalling don't pull the shirt all the time. Ozil's picked it up. Matic is with him.
Yeah, I think I would say in the first few minutes that Arsenal's formation is probably tactically causing us a few problems, and you can get that in the first 5 minutes. It's like you said, Marcus, when we played against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, our formation was causing Chelsea a lot of problems. I just think we need to adapt to it. And old Brownie says, Marcus, overconfidence is going to be the kiss of death. Ross was very confident as well, though. It's not just Marcus. But,
don't just blame me.
I think the important thing for United is not to concede in the first few minutes, because that will play into Arsenal's hands and give them a bit of confidence. They want a good start. They want to start fast. They want to get a goal. So United just need to work their way into this game. I don't like the favourites tag. I think that when you go into a top six club and you're the away team, then they should be the favourites.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal, of course, they've had the majority of possession in the first 5 minutes, but what I have noticed is they're playing at a slow pace. They're not playing their usual. I mean, I think that was one of the Arsenal centre backs that has just
knocked it out for a throw.
Completely, yeah.
Which gives us the ball in their half, and we can get a bit of the ball now.
Yeah, they're not as speedy, Arsenal, today. They're playing very slow, trying to feed Ozil as much as they can in that number 10 role. But
Lukaku there holding the ball up like a brick wall. So it's a throw in for Arsenal.
Fred closing down pretty quick on Xhaka there, forcing them to go back. Smalling dealt with that quite comfortably. But I think and here we go, Aubameyang's in,
Smalling's done well. He just needs to stand up here.
Yeah,
good recovery pace from Smalling there, because Aubameyang had the run on him, but really good recovery pace from Chris Smalling. You'd think Aubameyang was going to move away from him.
But he actually slipped as well. Smalling actually slipped. So, I mean, to be fair to Smalling, he got back really quickly.
Well, Aubameyang had a yard and a half on Smalling there as well.
You would have thought he'd have got
Well
away
done.
from him quite comfortably.
Brilliant bit of defending. Good recovery, says KA. Exactly.
Yeah, so, I just need a few minutes on the ball. Just don't rush. Play quite confidently.
Well, it's all the energy from Arsenal that you'd expect from a home team that knows they need to win. That's crap from Fred there. He's got to settle quick. He's got to settle quick, Fred, because that right-hand side could be a problem for United. Aubameyang from distance. It's one of those there where he smacks that. It could be going in.
Bit of a shoot-on-sight situation there for Arsenal. Aubameyang was quite a way out from goal there. I don't think you're going to beat De Gea from there, mate.
No, but bounced up nice to hit. So Arsenal will be encouraged from the start that they've had. United not done a hell of a lot yet, but I don't really think that it's anything to write home from at the moment. Not a great start from United, but having said that, I must remind people we are the away team, and I think the most important thing is just stopping Arsenal from doing anything significant in these first 20 minutes. And we all know with the Arsenal crowd that they'll become impatient.
Yeah, they will do, and we got to try and tire them out as well. That's the main thing. They had a hard game Thursday. They were playing a lot of that game with 10 men as well. So, if United can just make Arsenal just chase them around.
So United on the ball here.
Yeah. Good bit of 1-2 there by Pogba. Here we go, ball in. Lukaku, what?
Oh, what a goal that would have been.
Oh, Fred.
Oh, bug off. What a bit of play that was. What a bit of play.
Hit it. They're like, oh.
I tell you what, the play between Pogba and Shaw was fantastic. The cross came in.
Pogba? Oh, no.
And Lukaku hit it against the bar. It would have been an absolute brilliant goal.
But there we go. I mean, that's all United need. That is all United need. Arsenal were at 6s and 7s at the back there. Didn't know the 1-2 between Pogba and Rashford. Absolutely confused the hell out of them.
It was another fantastic cross from Shaw.
Brilliant cross in there. Takes one touch to get it out from underneath his feet and whips that ball straight in. But here come Arsenal. Smalling deals with that.
I don't know. I'd love to see that back again. I don't know. People are saying, "Oh, should he have scored?"
Oh, I think he should have scored that one. Yeah, I really do. I think he had. I think it's probably a bit too heavy a first touch for him.
So unlucky, says Smiley. That's the problem with Lukaku, says MD Khaled. Lukaku is not clinical. He sometimes does need 5 chances to score 2 or 3. But I'd like to see it back to see how difficult it was for him to convert. The cross looked fantastic from Luke Shaw, but we'd have to see that chance back again. But against the bar, and United cleared the corner. But that's good from United because we've not done much in this first 10 minutes, but we've had the best chance. And it will just scare Arsenal a bit. It'll be like, oh, we've had a good start, but we've not done anything with it, and they've hit the post or the bar.
Yeah, fantastic opportunity from United. The first time they've actually got into the game and had a bit of possession as well, and they create a chance like that. So Delo did really well from the corner just now and cleared it away pretty calmly from the front post. But when Arsenal are attacking, they've gone to a 3 at the back. But again, it's come down our left-hand side. The Maitland Miles as a right back or right wing back, just not very good for me.
Nicholas B says Fred uselessly. I don't know what he's on about, but
well, first 10 minutes they've got it down as Arsenal 3 attempts to our 2. So it started out pretty openly.
Cheers, Drawty. I was just about to do that one myself. They still haven't shown that chance back yet, and I don't know why. I don't know whether that's go on, Shaw.
Great interception by Shaw, or
got that pass wrong.
Good tackle
by Fred. And now United.
And here we go. Oh. You know what?
What United are trying to do is hit them on the break.
Yeah, I mean we've certainly got the pace in the team to cause them problems. I'd like to see Rashford press from the front just a little bit more than what he's doing. Pogba's being drawn out to the left here quite an awful lot.
Yeah, it is like a 4-4-2, isn't it? A few people said that.
1-0 Arsenal.
Oh, for God's sake!
The swerve on that.
Fucking Xhaka as well. I hate Xhaka. I bloody hate Xhaka. What a crap goal that is.
I'm not sure if that was a swerve or a deflection. De Gea was quite comfortable, going the right way.
I bloody hate Xhaka. I hate him. I can't stand him. B-Tech Pogba, whatever he is. And that it just looks like a shit goal. I don't know whether it deflects in.
Yeah, it's took a major swerve somewhere because De Gea was left flat-footed there. It's a swerve.
No, that's crap from De Gea. Absolutely rubbish from De Gea. There's no deflection. It's just a swerve on the shot. And a goalkeeper of his level, he should not be getting beat like that. Yeah. Absolute crap by De Gea, that is. Rubbish. A goalkeeper of his standard. Swerve. Nah, he's totally wrong-footed. Rubbish from De Gea.
Nil Arsenal. I think it's pretty obvious. The swerve caught him out. It's like he's saying there, look, the bend, the whip on it, swerve on it. He had no chance.
No, I disagree. Wrong-footed is right, KA, but a goalkeeper of his level, you can't just dive the wrong way. It's not a bloody penalty. You can't go, oh, it was the swerve. He's anticipated something that a world-class goalkeeper should not be anticipating, and he's been made to look an absolute prat. He's made a mistake. He's made a massive mistake there, and it's really, really annoying because Arsenal have got that early goal now, and they've got it because of a bloody mistake. And that makes this... Well, obviously, it makes it difficult for United because we're 1-0 down, but those fine margins in these big games can be massive. And, you know, we still haven't seen the chance back for Lukaku, so we don't know whether that was a good, unfortunate, or it was an easy chance. I don't know, but fine margins, isn't it? We hit the bar, he chances his arm, Xhaka, and De Gea gets done by the swerve. So we need to step it up a bit. But it has been a little bit lethargic from Manchester United this first few minutes. So they do need to step it up. But of all the people to score, I don't like Xhaka. I really don't like him. I think he's... I'd
like to see the view behind the goal, if they show it. Oh, here we go. So it's straight at him.
No, he's wrong-footed himself. There's not a lot of swerve on that.
Yeah. No, I think he's gone... He thinks it's going... Yeah, he thinks it's going to his left, but it hasn't. It's gone to his right.
No, he's at fault for that. I don't care. I love David De Gea. He's been, unfortunately, we all have to say, you can't ever have a pop at David De Gea because he's such a great goalkeeper for us. But that is one of those days that you don't want to have at the Emirates. Do that when we're 4-0 up against Burnley at Old Trafford. Don't do it in a game like this.
Definitely. I thought first instinct, I really did think the swerve beat him. But
I thought there might have been a deflection. I thought it might have hit somebody.
Yeah. But when you see that angle from behind the goal, he definitely wrong-footed.
Maybe this is Rems 04 says stay positive, Mark. I've just had a bad feeling for a few days. I have, and I don't even think the bad feeling was that we were going to lose. I've just not had a good feeling about this game, and hopefully that's it now. maybe that's the bad luck. I don't know.
United, there's plenty of time here.
The Arsenal formation is causing us problems, though. They are getting at our back four a hell of a lot.
Lacazette's free. Oh, Dave, catch it. There we go. Yeah. A bit of a worrying sign there. Lacazette was free in amongst our centre-backs. No one was picking him up.
Well, we've given Arsenal a 1-0 start here, which is never right. Oh, Lukaku again.
Too slow on the ball.
I'm just changing the score. It takes a little bit longer.
It's a shame that sometimes it takes a goal to wake United up. That we seem to have a habit of doing things the hard way. Lukaku's in. No, he's onside. Ball over the top. But we can get out, and we've already seen that, and previous result as well. So Here's the chance for Lukaku. It's on his right foot. Oh, that should be in, Mark, to be honest. He's hit that into the ground.
He should bury that. Absolutely bury that.
He's caught that quite nicely, the inside of his right foot, but he's hit it into the ground and it's bounced up onto the bar. Ozil, not really had much of an effect on the game at the minute. That's ours. Yeah. But yeah,
well, we're gonna have to work at it. We're gonna have to work at it, everybody. That's the thing. Let me just change this score line. People are on about it.
I mean, we come from behind before. We can do it again.
We don't. I can't think of us being behind that often though. When we win these games away from home. I have updated the score. Thank you very much. I don't need reminding it's 1-0, and I'll change the score when I feel fit to change the score. Thank you. It does say 1-0 now. Come on, United. I think tactically they're buzzing all over us and we look a bit lethargic, which I said could happen because I think that they were going to obviously know that they're going to get tired at some point. Here's Lukaku.
Lukaku's laid off to Rashford. Ball in. Oh.
Go on, Shaw. Just have a shot.
If there was someone on the edge of the box there, that would have been worth a hit, that one.
To Pogba. Fred. Rubbish.
Oh, post!
Oh! I said rubbish as he hit it. I thought the way he'd hit it was... well, we've hit the bloody post and the bar now, says Colleen.
Is it going to be one of those days?
I thought the way Fred hit this, there's no way it's going in, but it beats Leno and hits the foot of the post because he hits it low.
Yeah.
Leno's beat outside of the post. Bollocks.
So, we're getting closer. It's got to go in sometime.
What's worrying me about United's formation is that Arsenal are getting at our back four way too often. I don't know what's going on with the midfield, but good play by Luke Shaw.
And again, Luke Shaw and Pogba have got they've done quite well down this left-hand side so far. Ball in, away by Lindelof.
Hit the post twice already, says LOL.
Yeah. No, they can be got at. There's plenty of time. No need to press the panic button just yet.
Sean Desi says we need Lingard. Yeah, we're a bit behind than you, Louis, because we're on YouTube and YouTube delays your stream. So me and Marcus are not behind you because we're watching it in the UK on Sky Sports second for second, but the stream will probably be a few seconds behind because that's what YouTube does. There is hardly any movement of this ball.
Well, they're looking through De Gea's eyes now, so that's a new angle. Yeah, definitely.
The ball moves, but he is as a goalkeeper of his level, he's at fault. Absolutely at fault. He can say the ball moved, and the ball did move, but he's done himself there. It's not Roberto Carlos free kick. No way. I'm not having that. He's
No, what Fred's touch on the ball at the minute. I mean, he can get back and tackle pretty decently, but his first touch on the ball's a bit like Lukaku's at the minute.
Well, Arsenal are full of energy at the moment, and United are just struggling to get into the game. We're quite lethargic, which is a little bit interesting. Baron Death saying, why did Matic start today? He hasn't started in weeks. Well, you'd hope he's starting today because he's good enough to start today. He's fit enough to start today. McTominay's on the bench, Andres. Arsenal are a lot sharper, says Marky. Well, Arsenal have got a point to prove, haven't they? Like Robbie was saying, they were booed in the airport after the Rennes loss. They've got to win this game. And they're all over United at the moment. The thing is, when you give a team a goal, which we've given them a goal.
Sure. Danger sign again. ball across from Maitland Miles, and Aaron Ramsey skied it over the bar. But I think we need to get Delo in the game a lot more.
Yeah, he's been very, very quiet.
Yeah, the ball's not going out to that right-hand side. And we all know what a ball he can whip into the box. So we need to get him involved.
Yeah, overconfidence, the excitement has got to us. Some good comments coming in on the live comments. I think you're probably right. I think it's been a bit of a bad start from Manchester United, and we're not getting into this game at the moment.
Yeah, we're losing out on the 50-50s as well, which is never a good sign.
Stay in it,
United again. Yeah. And Luke Shaw's down left. There's not much movement in front of him, but when the ball goes in down at left-hand side, there's plenty of space there for Fred to pick it up in the centre.
Here's
the low ball in. I mean, look at that.
Good cross. He cannons across.
What a ball that was.
It's got loads of room. Oh, lazy. Rashford's got so much space in the box there. I mean, this is what frustrates me about Rashford. Brilliant player, enigma of a player, but sometimes he's so bloody wasteful. He's got so much time in the box here. Luke Shaw finds him. He's like level with the penalty spot, but quite far left. And what is that?
Yeah.
Can't afford it.
Caught in two minds there between shot and laying it up to the back post, but great ball in by Delo on that right hand side there. So we've seen 2 or 3 cracking deliveries in this first half from Luke Shaw and Delo so far.
Lacazette's got the better of.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah.
Another corner, swerving all over the shop. I'm worried about United at the moment, to be honest. We're a bit at 6s and 7s. Lacazette leaving Lindelof for dead. Gets the shot away, and it's off Smalling's back, thank God. We're hanging on a bit here, I tell you. Maybe Goldbridge and his reservations about this game were right. I told you I didn't feel good about it. I did predict we'd win 3-1 though, but I did say I just didn't feel good about it.
Oh, what? I really thought he went for goal from that corner there.
I think the thing is, it can only get better for United.
Fred,
What's that?
what is that?
Fucking Fred. Absolutely rubbish.
What?
His passing ability is crap. This is exactly the same as the game against... Who did he play? Was it Palace? He was terrible against.
Yeah. I thought, I actually thought that Pereira might have got the nod in front of him today. But Arsenal, they're quite comfortable at the minute.
Well, a few people saying we're going to change
around.
formation at half-time, but the reality is... That's if it's 1-0 at half-time. This game's going quite quick without us doing anything in it. I know we've hit the post twice, but we're not getting hold of the ball. We cannot go 2-0 down. I don't think we'll come back from 2.
Not to sound like Klopp or anything like that, but it is quite blustery there today.
We're not doing anything with the wind.
Coming back from Leicester, man, Jesus, I was driving back through snow and bloody rain and wind, everything. Horrendous. Good pressing there from Rashford.
But this is the game as well where those United fans who have reservations about Lukaku get proved right. Against the better opposition, whereas Lukaku's hold-up play can really hurt you. We need to get hold of the ball.
Well, Rashford's not looked a danger either, is he, at the minute? I mean, the front two, really, apart from the crosses, Pogba's having a shot. I'll tell you what, there's got to be something with that wind today.
Must be. There must be
really
something in the
has.
wind. There must be something in the wind because Pogba's just tried to hit one from a long way out as well.
And I said just now, I thought he tried to go for goal from the corner from Arsenal just now. So, you're not seeing the long balls either, which is strange.
The wind must be with Arsenal to be going to try and score from a corner and stuff. But John Chris says that's too far from Pogba to shoot.
But Arsenal they're not trying to hit the ball over the top. They're keeping it on the ground.
Well, Arsenal definitely the better team so far. We need to stretch them, says Tejas.
So
And we look jaded, says DT Teacher Smith. But then again, there's a few players out there today who shouldn't be jaded. Like, Fred's didn't play last weekend. He played midweek. Oh, right, he might be a bit tired. Pogba didn't play at all. Matic didn't play. The back four has played, to be fair. Pogba on the far left isn't working. We need to go 4-3-3 with Delo further forward, and Pogba needs to move more centrally, says Queen in the north. Exactly, that's the formation I've got next to me, isn't it? But we're not playing that formation at the moment. It's more of a 4-4-2. That's good by Fred. Well done.
It is. His tackling's been really good today. It's just a shame that his passing's not up to par, up to scratch at the minute.
Well done, Matic. That's it. Bit of the ball for United would be nice.
Yeah, I just need to calm things down here. There's plenty of time left. There's no need to panic. Good spread there by Pogba out to Lukaku. Ball over the top. Rashford. Oh!
What the fucking hell?
That's a corner, surely. I thought that came off him.
Giving a goal kick.
Come off Rashford.
I think Rashford should be getting on the end of this. It's a good ball. There's Lukaku with that cross again. I don't know. Why is Rashford not forcing himself on that?
It's a corner, yeah. All it was, the defender got his foot to it.
The funny thing is, United have probably had the best 3 chances of the game. That one for Rashford there, which definitely went for a corner. The Lukaku one against the post, the bar, and then, Fred's shot was a bit speculative. But, one shot that's just wrong-footed, De Gea. And we're 1-0 down. Arsenal have probably been the better team. They've had more of the ball, but United have certainly created chances, which is why we've just got to try and hang in this game. Next goal's key, as they say.
De Gea's distribution has been a bit poor as well this afternoon. Everything just seems to be going to an Arsenal player from Dave. We have got showing a shot of Martial now. Ball's coming in across.
Bloody hell.
It's coming right across the face of goal every time Arsenal attack.
Always down that left-hand side. It's always down the Ashley Young side, isn't it? Well done, Luke Shaw.
They're getting to the byline.
Easy George Bale 03 says we've still got this. All these fans laughing at us. We're doing the unexpected and still in the Champions League. Come on, United. Yeah, there's still plenty of time. But it's always down the Ashley Young side, these crosses. Where's Ashley Young there? It's Delo having to track back. A lot of people love Ashley Young, but defensively, he's absolutely
they're corners as well,
terrible.
Mark. Look at the bend on that. They're no out swingers either. They're always in swingers.
Dwight Pond says, I never liked to criticise De Gea, but he looked shaky. I thought he looked a bit shaky on Wednesday night. He was flapping at stuff in the last few minutes. I mean, look, De Gea, he's beyond reproach. You can't have a pop at him. All I'm going to say is the goal was his fault. I can't lie just because he's been a brilliant goalkeeper for us. He made a mistake. He got himself wrong-footed.
Go on, Luke, get forward. Luke's got plenty of space down his left-hand side. Ref. Oh, I didn't think he was going to
give that either.
Oh, yeah.
I think he wasn't going to give it, but then he thought, I'm so fat, I want to rest. I don't want to run after that ball.
Ain't that John Moss, isn't it?
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
De Gea's distribution is poor, 9 out of 10, says Queen in the north. Well, it's a chance for United to whip a cross in here, but when do we ever score from crosses?
Well, Luke Shaw's on the ball. He's going to whip this one in, so he has proved recently, and in the last couple of months, he's got a good delivery on him.
I can't believe the amount of people in the live comments who are coming on bantering us 1-0 down after half an hour. Do you not understand? Look, I'm not saying Arsenal aren't going to win. Maybe they will do, but I've said this so many times.
Ball.
God, Rance will love that.
Hello?
I've said this so many times. Don't banter people till the race is won. I don't do it. I enjoy the result when we're winning, but I don't start ripping the piss out of people till the game is done. So,
I think that should have been a corner as well.
That was a rubbish cross by Luke Shaw, to be honest. We're asleep, says Guess Who, 5905. And I do think, what if Lukaku had scored that chance? First few minutes, 1-0 up. Arsenal start to bottle it. But we're coming into the game a little bit more. I must admit. That's rubbish from Rashford again.
That's a corner again, isn't it? Surely.
Ref's just ignoring it every bloody time.
I swear that come off that Arsenal foot.
Look at him. Who is this ref? It's like frigging...
You could see the dip on the ball then. As soon as he kicked it, you can tell it took a ricochet. That's 3 corners we should have had in the last, 7 minutes? That's where Fred needs to be busting a gut to get back.
Solomon says, relax, we'll come back into this.
Yeah. Fred's covering a lot of ground in this first half, you know.
He's just got to do that Herrera role, hasn't he? Back and forth, back and forth. Grow into the game. The more games he plays, the better he'll get on the ball. Let's pull it back.
There we go. Yeah, this is how United should have been from the off. Pressuring from the front.
Well, Arsenal defensively are always a joke. I mean, most teams go to Arsenal and score, so...
It's offside, surely. Yeah. I mean, thankfully, Ozil's not really been in the game so far. Just gone 33 minutes.
Nothing new there.
No, he's been... Well, to be fair, he's onside there. Smalling's playing him on. But, yeah. God, the ref's not doing United any favours here today.
He shouldn't even be a ref. He's a fat old shit.
Go on, Matic, pull him down. Go on.
See, they'll love all that. Maitland-Niles there. He was a crap right back for Arsenal, but they'll love his tenacity. Oh, go on.
I agree with Matic. I thought there was an elbow there from him.
Ref's crap. The ref is absolute shite.
Aubameyang, edge of the box. Lacazette, miles wide. A good standing up there by, I think it was Ashley Young on Lacazette. Got it on the edge of the box. Ashley Young was pretty quick over there in front of him. Yeah. It's a goal kick to United. Not really seen Ashley Young get forward very much either.
Yeah, we're 1,500 subs till 400,000. So please do subscribe if you.
Lindelof's in trouble. Oh, he's got away with that.
If you are new, bottom right hand corner. Super chat here from Josh Wearing. The ref is John Moss. He's the new Michael Oliver. His entire staff today is shambolic.
That's a foul, Xhaka. You know that is.
Right, I'm just going to pop to the toilet. This game's getting on my fucking nerves already.
Yeah.
Fucking Arsenal, isn't it? It pisses me off.
Yeah. So, let's have some comments here. The ref is John Moss, says Callum. Yep. Ban fake scores, says Ashur. So, says Xhaka. Yeah, any fake scores in the comments, just time it out, get rid of them. Lukaku's in, he's round. He saved it, Leno, across the face. No! Too far. Delo picks it up outside of the foot. In it comes. No. Oh, Matic on the edge of the area. No, he loses it. Another chance for United. Goes begging. I think Lukaku should have done a little bit better there. Good opportunity for United. So the ball is a good through ball by Rashford. Lukaku out-muscled 2 centre-backs. Leno was on the floor in no man's land, and Lukaku, what is he doing there? Look. Oh, Leno saves the first one, but he goes for goal with the rebound. Absolutely nowhere near it. That's yeah. People saying WTF Lukaku. Yeah, again, what's that? How many chances Lukaku had there now? So he hit the bar. So that's his second or third chance of the game. Hi, Zico, you all right? But Arsenal got a throw down the near side. I mean, to be fair for United, defensively we've been pretty good. Arsenal haven't really had a clear-cut chance since the goal. Pogba's in here. If you get it out to the right, no, you got to take him down.
He was fouled there. He was definitely fouled.
Yeah, he should be. Lukaku just missed a great chance, Mark.
Yellow card, 100%. Lukaku's just missed a chance, has he?
He missed another chance, yeah. Rashford with a through ball to him. He outmuscled the two centre-backs, went round the keeper, hit it. Leno got fingers to it, and then on the rebound, he struck at goal again, but it went miles across the face.
Should he have scored?
I think so, yeah. Again, both on his left foot. On the rebound for the second one, he didn't have a clue where the goal was. He just decided to hit it.
I think Cadiz, Man United's right though. We do need to calm down a little bit. I think the chances are starting to stack up now, and let's not forget Arsenal's goal. I still think is a fluke. I do. I think it's a fluke. Yeah. I think De Gea has made a cardinal error that he wouldn't normally make.
Back. But yeah, another chance for Lukaku. I mean, to be fair, I do think we've had the better of the chances, though. First half, we've not had
100%. It's just a gimme, isn't it, for Arsenal so far?
It's just a matter of this first half. We've not really been clinical. When you think about the chance that Rashford had, Lukaku, Fred, and then Lukaku again just now, we've had 4 good opportunities. Lukaku holding it up.
Ishan says the goal might have been a fluke, but we're failing to score all these chances. Well, at the moment, it has got a feeling of one of those days, hasn't it? Why are all the officials' decisions always delayed, says Meanie Morner? Don't know. They do seem to be a little bit slow. But the ref's fat and slow, so that's probably why.
I never know. We get one before half time, and suddenly the game plan for Arsenal changes, doesn't it, in the second half? So,
Alex R7 says the midfield's a bit light.
Well, Joe, I think United again, we've not had possession, but chances we've created, I think Ollie will be happy enough with it, because we've shown that we can get at Arsenal. We've shown, we can score, but we just haven't put the ball in the back of the net, obviously. But we've had a couple of decent opportunities there where we should have been maybe 1-0 up, drawing the game now at least. So I think apart from possession stat, Ollie, I think, will be pretty okay with this at the minute.
I think the hope is that we can just keep it like this. Don't let them ever get in front, and then they should hopefully tire in the second half.
I mean, our left-hand side, yeah. Luke Shaw is causing major problems down here. I mean, everyone knows. I don't think Nathan Miles is a natural right back, is he? He's more of a attacking midfielder.
No, I'd like to see us exploit him a little bit more. Really, maybe get Martial on second half. I'm not convinced the Delot thing's worked that well.
No, he's not really been involved. Saying that, he's in now, down the right. He's going to get caught out. That went out.
Corner ball. Yeah. Corner ball, Manchester United. 40 minutes. I tell you what, it's been a quick half, but they always seem to be quick halves when you're losing, don't they? Look at that knobhead behind it.
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, the state of him. The absolute state of him.
Matic looking a bit lethargic, says Ibrahim Adams. It is his first game back, but I think United in general look a little bit lethargic.
A couple of people saying Nathan Miles is a CDM by trade, but
Young with the cross.
All in both Young.
We never score from corners, do we?
No, I just don't. I think
That's crap by
second
Young
half,
as well.
That is. You could not hold that up at all. Out muscled by Ramsey in the corner.
And then they're on the attack from a situation where he could have just put the ball in.
He's offside again, Ozil again.
We're obviously playing an offside trap, aren't we? I've never seen us get so many offside decisions. Easy George Bale 03 to all Arsenal fans. You banter FC, stop hyping up. You'll lose this game and be saying Emery out after this game as usual. You're all plastic fans. I haven't noticed any Arsenal fans on the live comments, and they certainly won't get read out. But I think if it was for De Gea, if it wasn't for De Gea, this game would be 0-0. In fact, if it wasn't for De Gea and Lukaku, it'd probably be 2-0 to us. You just can't criticise De Gea because he's just been so amazing for us all these years, but he just gets himself wrong-footed. There's not enough movement on that ball for him to say he has got wrong-footed, but there's not enough movement. He's just assumed it's going the other way, and then the ball's moved a little bit, but he should not get beat from there. Martial's not on yet, Tom Matar. He's on the bench.
You know what, Smalling took so long on the ball then. You know, Pogba was free there. He just seemed free for ages, and Smalling didn't see him.
Game needs Martial, says George 15. I'm sure we'll see him at some point.
I think for us, the game for us at the minute, we need Delo. But it's not his fault he's not involved really, because the ball's not coming down the right-hand side. We're not attacking down the right-hand side. We're always attacking down our left.
Yeah, it is an honest mistake by De Gea. I'm just reading some of the comments, but you just don't need a mistake like that in a game like this. It's sod's law, isn't it? You know, that's the sort of mistake, like I said, when you're 2 or 3-0 up at home against somebody shit, make a mistake like that. But because Xhaka is just chancing his arm from there. You never should be beating a player of De Gea's quality in a game like that. This is a good break from United.
Good play from United. Look,
it's a lovely ball.
Really good. Lukaku, great first touch. Delo's on the overlap. Cross, Rashford. I don't think Rashford were expecting that.
They've both injured themselves as well.
Get up, boy. Come on. I think Rashford's all right. Yeah, I seriously don't think
I tell you what, it was a brilliant bit of play from Manchester United, that was. And the cutback from Delo just wasn't good enough. But it was brilliant play from United down the left-hand side. Lovely ball by Pogba. Lovely control by Lukaku. Brilliant. He's got Delo on the overlap, and then I think Delo just cuts it back for Rashford, who goes to hit it and goes straight through Xhaka.
Yeah, you know, I think Rashford was expecting that ball to go right across the face of goal there.
Mark, I'm an Arsenal fan, but Manchester United will at the end. I don't know what he's on about that.
Yeah, Rashford ploughed into I think it was his jaw or top of his chest.
Tell you what, it's a good job the ref blew up actually, because I think the breakaway for Arsenal was looking pretty concerning. They had a good old break.
Rashford's injured at the minute. Just having a look at his right leg.
It was a brilliant first, lovely breakaway from United. And I suppose that's the thing, isn't it? We're actually we're at half time already. I can't believe how quick this game is going.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes added on. Yeah, I don't think you can fault Rashford there. I don't think he was expecting it, to be honest. Delo looked like he was shaping to put that right across the face. But they're both up on their feet. That's the main thing. Charlie says top 4 gone. I think it's a bit too soon, mate, to be honest.
There's ages left in this game, but I have been saying all week, I think if United win this game, then top 4 for Arsenal becomes difficult. But if United lose this game, how can top 4 be gone when Spurs would have 61 points, Arsenal would have 60 points, we'd have 58 points, and Chelsea'd have 57 points. So you'd have third to fifth separated by 3 points. That'd be a massive boost for Arsenal. I'm not going to say that they wouldn't have momentum, but it's it doesn't decide top 4 this game.
There's still, what, 8-9 games to go, I think?
Offside again here. Lukaku found first touch but lost his goal scoring, says D Bottom 25. It was a lovely first touch from him, actually. We should give him a bit of praise for that, because he took that ball down really well from Pogba.
It was a great ball by Pogba as well on his left foot.
It's just United in the final third. It's just not working. It's just not working. The build-up play is good. To be fair, Arsenal haven't created a clear-cut chance. We've hit the post twice and Lukaku messed up a chance. Arsenal are slowing down now, says Barry Haynes. And just done banging. Love you, mate. Says Aussie Man. Right, okay.
What a comment.
What a comment.
Oh, I just got done banging. Nice. Nothing like an afternoon battering, is there? Oh dear.
It's better from Lukaku.
Yeah, good ball out by Fred as well. Do you know, Fred's passing's picked up as well in the last 10-15 minutes. Rashford. Look at the
sucks that.
Long ball.
Rashford's getting on my tits in this game. I love Marcus Rashford, but there's just elements of his game today that are just really frustrating. Needs a break, says Cocoho360. I think that'll be the ref will probably blow up in a minute, actually.
Oh.
How is he not booking him?
That's a high foot, ref. Come on.
Fucking Xhaka again, as per usual, and he just walks away from it and doesn't book him. I said about Xhaka before the game, he's a filthy git. I can't stand him. And he's the dickhead who scored.
Yeah, just pump it out. It's half time, surely. Yep. Half time.
It is half time. Well, it's disappointing from Manchester United's point of view. Let down by De Gea, but well, he's given us how many years of brilliance. He's kept us from being mid-table clubs at times with his saves. But certainly at fault for the goal. Manchester United 1-0 down. I don't think deservedly. I think it's a jammy goal from Arsenal's point of view. I'm not saying they don't deserve it, because if you take a shot and it goes in, it goes in. De Gea's misjudged it. We're 1-0 down. But ultimately, the balance of the play, Marcus, I think United, I think we've been sluggish, but we've certainly had the better chances. And realistically, we shouldn't be losing that game. I thought Arsenal started off well, but they've certainly stepped off a little bit in the last 20 minutes. So really intrigued to see what we do in the second half, because if we were to lose this game, have a second half like the first half and lose it, you'd be gutted. It's just not that sort of a game. But we go into it first half. It's a lame first half, says Xander Brooks.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is a test of Ollie's character now and the players' character to sort of like copy what they did on Wednesday night. We're 1-0 down. We got to come back from it. We've come back from it before. But again, like you said there, we've had the better opportunities. We've not dominated possession, but we are the away team. So, that's not so much the issue. The issue for me is the right-hand side. We're coming down our left a little bit too often for me. I think the left-hand side is their right, so it's obviously their weak point with Nathan Miles there filling in as right back or right wing back. But I think Dalot, you've got it. If he's going to play out that right-hand side, he's got a fantastic delivery on him, that boy, and we've got to utilise him a bit more. But for Arsenal, the way they're attacking us is down our right-hand side, which is our weak spot. So Ashley Young, he's been hit and miss that first half. I think Lukaku, I really do think the first opportunity he had, he should have put that in. He's hit that into the floor and it's gone up and hit the crossbar. But I'm still not overly worried. I'm still quite confident we can come back into this game, and I still think Ollie will get the message across at half time, get them to do what they got to do, you know.
Queen in the North, I think we will win since we changed formation. We're creating all the chances and Arsenal haven't had a clear-cut chance. And Brandon Slaughter, all the players seem shaky, unconfident, hairdryer at half-time. I think that is exactly what I was going to say, Brandon, actually. I think the players need to kick up the arse. I think we've had enough of the ball to be level. I think we've had enough of the chances to be level. I think it's a loss of concentration on the goal. I mean, you could say why Xhaka being allowed to have a shot from goal from there. I mean, we're all having a go at De Gea, but there's a clear path for him to shoot. Someone should have been closing him down. I'd like to see that back at the half-time highlights. De Gea shouldn't be letting a chance like that in. And if we don't let that in, what have Arsenal done other than that? They haven't done anything. Whereas we've hit the post, we've hit the bar, we've had half chances. But I think if United can go up a couple of gears, because at the moment, I think we're in gear 3. If United can get up into gear 4, I think we'll win this game. But let's have no illusions. This game could finish 1-0. Arsenal could get the next goal, and we could end up walking away from the Emirates going, that was a missed opportunity. It was one of those days. And we've got 45 minutes to make it not one of those days, and I think we need to come out second half and change it. Pranay Singh says, we are much better, we will win. Game calls for Martial and Pereira, Young and Fred off. I think we need to get Pogba more into the game, Marcus, to be honest with you. Red Jedi says Pogba needs to step up. I think Rashford needs to step up as well. I mean, Rashford, can stand up and score the penalty like he did. But I think there's something about his game that's just a little bit off for Rashford at the moment. I don't know whether he's carrying an injury or something. He's just doesn't seem to be his normal self. But Paul Pogba out on the left wing, I'm not having that. We're not getting the best out of our best player, really. I want to see him a little bit more central, and I don't think we need to play a front two. I'd like to actually just play the 4-3-3. Put Rashford to the left, Delo on the right, and then have Matic, Fred, and Pogba as the midfield 3. But we're good enough to beat these. I don't think they've played that well, but you don't have to play well to win a game of football. And at the moment, we're going to have to go through some gears to get back in this game because even one goal, it's only going to be a draw.
Yeah, definitely. I think that the change, if I had to make any change, I think it would be Fred. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been okay in this first half, but his passing has been really, really poor for me. He's covered a lot of ground, so his energy, he should be fine. He's nice and fresh. His tackling's been okay as well, pretty decent, but his passing, some of the passes that he's tried to do, the simple passes, have just not come off for him.
Well, they're just showing this Xhaka goal now, just to interrupt. So I'm just going to... It goes from Maitland-Niles, and it's going to be Matic's fault. Too slow to slow down. Him and Fred both give him a shot. I think, we all know De Gea makes a mistake, but when you watch this goal back, Matic and Fred don't close him down and let him shoot. To be honest, it's probably more Fred.
Yeah, but then, Fred just seems to stand out of the way, but would you fancy Xhaka beating De Gea from there?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't like Xhaka, but Xhaka has always been known for his long shots. And, they're trying to show it. De Gea shouldn't get beat from here. No way.
No,
he shouldn't get beat from there. He shouldn't get beat from there. But Fred or Matic should be closing him down quicker. There's two players there. Matic couldn't defend Helen Keller, says Lucas. And Matic is too slow, says Markey. I think that Fred is as culpable as Matic is there, to be honest with you. You've got to close him down quicker. But De Gea shouldn't get beat from there. They should have closed him down quicker. But shoulda, woulda, coulda. It doesn't matter. We're 1-0 down. And Worth a Look says, I've just got home. Are we playing well? We shouldn't be 1-0 down. We should be. I think a fair result would be 1-1. But football isn't always fair. Arsenal have put the ball in the back of the net. We haven't put the ball in the back of the net. We're 1-0 down. And I think if we don't step it up in the second half, we're going to have to. We're going to have to accept a defeat here. And I don't want to be accepting a defeat here. If Arsenal are going to beat us, I want to stand up at the end and say, look, we got beat by the better team. But at the moment, if that was full time, I'd be furious. I'd be like, how the bloody hell have we lost that game? With a better team, we've just not been clinical. Lukaku chances, he's got to score the first one. This was at 0-0. Brilliant cross and build up between Pogba and Shaw. Lovely cross from Shaw. Pogba's got to score it. Puts it into the ground, hits the bar. Yeah. Rubbish finish, the first one.
Great.
The second one.
Play for the second one. This is the one that you missed here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rebounds.
I don't think the second one's as. I mean, I'm watching this first time. I think he does well to get the shot.
Well, Leno says, but he doesn't even get his head up for the rebound. He doesn't even know where the goal is.
He should have scored the first one, 100%.
Oh, definitely.
Pranny Singh says, we're much better, we will win. Game calls for Martial and Pereira. We've read that one, actually. The Persevera says, I've liked us going forward. We've cut them open with some quick passes and running off the ball. Sadly behind from a mistake. Fair point. And either Matic looked sluggish or I forgot how slow he is, says D-Bottom25. Look, I've never been a huge fan of Matic. I think he does a good job for us, but I'd love to see him get replaced in the summer. He is too slow. He's always been too slow. He's a decent footballer, but he is too slow. He does slow us down.
Yeah, I've seen enough from United in the first half that the chances we've created there, the opportunities we've had, I do fancy us to get back in it. I really do. Arsenal, I think you can get at that back three or back five, whatever it is they're playing. But
I think if Arsenal want to win, they're going to have to score more than one goal. I
definitely.
think if they're thinking they're going to hold on to one goal with 10 minutes to go, we'll score, I think. But it's whether if they get the second, maybe our heads will drop. Because we're going to be tired from Wednesday as well. They're going to be tired from Thursday. But I think if any team gets a 2-goal gap, that will be enough. But the Arsenal Pro says you have been better than us. I think we have been better. But then again, that could flip it the other way. Arsenal might be getting a bollocking themselves. You know, we're lucky to be 1-0 up. We've got to do better in the second half.
Well, I think if Emery's going to give them a bollocking, it'll be because they've not really created anything since the goal. As for United, I think Solskjaer will just probably say, keep going the way you're going, but you've got to keep hold of the ball a little bit better than what you're doing. And I think that is probably where Pereira would come into play, or maybe McTominay for Fred, just to settle that midfield down. If McTominay stays a little bit further back, that allows Pogba to go forward a little bit more. I know Solskjaer prefers Pereira as an 8 or a 10, but and of course, we've got the two, Martial on the bench, and we got Greenwood on the bench as well. So I don't think there's any reason to panic just yet.
I think the most important thing is, and of course it'd be great to win it, but what we can't do is lose this game. We can't lose this game. I'm not saying we won't lose it, but what I'm saying is that should be the mentality. We cannot. Glenn says, would you take a draw now? I would take a draw now, because you never know what's going to happen in the second half, and we're losing this game. If somebody offered me a draw now and the game ends, I'd take it. I know we can probably win it, but the way I just ask anybody who listened to me last night, today, I've had a bad feeling about this game, and I didn't know why. And I don't know. Maybe that subconscious bad feeling is it might be one of those days. We shouldn't be losing, but we're losing. So I just think, maybe it is going to be one of those days. I would take a point and get away. Sometimes you've got to do that. But hopefully we can come out in the second half, blitz them and win it. But I would take a draw right now, because I just feel that first half, that Xhaka goal, how often would De Gea make a mistake like that? Hardly ever. And how often, as much as we criticise Lukaku, he scored 6 goals in 3 games. He should have buried that chance at 0-0. And in a big game like this, it's those fine margins where you're going, Carl Hoyton says Martial on second half. Lukaku's been unlucky. We need the next goal. If they score again, it's game over. How are you, lads? Yeah, I think that's pretty much fair to say. And anyone missing Herrera, says Vishnu. Look, Herrera is a massive up step on Fred. I've got to be honest, Marcus. You saying about Fred, and a few people are talking about Fred, and I heard somebody on about Ryan Giggs talking about Fred. I don't know where Ryan Giggs is talking about it, but I actually don't think Fred was terrible in that game. He's no Ander Herrera, but I don't think he was terrible. I don't know whether Pereira might have done a better job than him. I don't know, but if you're taking people off, I don't know whether Lukaku should come off, really. He's done okay.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Rashford's probably looking a bit off, but would you ever take Rashford off? I personally think you've got to look at Dalot. Not necessarily taking him off. I'd take Young off and put Dalot at right back, but certainly I think that Dalot position should be more of an attacking position. I think we should go 4-3-3, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the only reason why I'm saying maybe stick Pereira on for Fred is I just think Pereira's ball distribution over the last few weeks, his passing is better. He's got more energy. He's up to the pace of the Premier League. Fred's covered a lot of ground in that first half, a lot of ground. And, he had to cover a lot of ground on Wednesday night as well. And, of course, these players should be able to do that. But Fred's not been a regular, since he joined from the summer. So maybe, maybe 2 games like this in a week, 2 games in, 5 days, could catch up with him. It's a lot of energy you got to do, a lot of chasing around without the ball, and it does take its toll eventually. So maybe Pereira to come on. I think everyone would agree that the best thing to do would be to, like you said, put Delo at right back, take Young off and stick Martial on. But I don't think he'll do that, to be honest.
Fred has done well. He hit the post. He's been trying. Matic has been slow, says Marlin Carve 93. There's a lot of people saying Fred's done well as well. Yeah. There's a lot of people saying Fred's done bad. So it's obviously divisive. Don't worry if you think he's good or bad. And Martial on for Rashford. Why the Fred hate from the comments? Says D-Bottom25. There's a lot of people sticking up for Fred. I personally don't think Fred had a terrible half. I don't. I think his distribution was a little bit off, but...
Yeah, I'm not saying he's been, crap. I just think, when you need to keep hold of that ball in the midfield, I just think you need someone with maybe a bit more confidence than what he's got at the minute. Yeah. And like I said, chasing down the ball, chasing shadows, for 2 matches in 5 days, that was a lot of work he put in against Paris Saint-Germain. The whole midfield 3 put in a lot of work that game.
What I would say about Fred is, though, because I've just seen it again there, he should have closed Xhaka down. I know De Gea's at fault for the goal, but a midfielder should be closing down a player like any player that can shoot from distance. You've got to throw your body at it, and he doesn't. He gives him 5 yards. So, and somebody's got to be at fault for that. And it's not just De Gea. Well, De Gea should have saved it though. Wrong formation, says Bods Islam. Yeah, that's something I would like to look at in the second half. To be honest, I'm not totally happy with the second half with the formation, but we still have had more chances than Arsenal. So.
And we've had the better chances as well.
We shouldn't be losing 1-0. Their goal was fortuitous in the fact that the world's best goalkeeper made a mistake and we didn't close the player down for the shot. And then at the other end, we've had the better chances. So that's football, isn't it? I said this to Robbie outside the Emirates. I said, look, Man City went to Newcastle and lost. We might be the favourites, but anything can happen. And, the gap between Arsenal and United is far, far closer than that. Anyway, remember to subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. I'm just looking at the sub counter, and we're getting very close to 399,000, which means we're getting close to 400,000, which is obviously a massive total for the channel. So please do subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner, and let's hope that Manchester United in this second half can come out and get something, because we are about to kick off the second half.
Yeah, United came out first, so maybe that's a sign that they've had a bit of a bollocking at half time and get their act together a little bit more and get going. But like you said, I don't really think they've had that much of the ball mark to get out of third gear, to be honest.
Well, we're running in the second half, and there's a proper match. 2 good teams. Fred Good will win, says Harold Holsvensvold. No change in the formation, no change in the personnel, but no change in the ref's attitude as he gives the throw-in to them again when it was probably a United throw-in. But the ref's been crap. I'm glad we didn't talk about him at half-time.
Yeah, see how it goes for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I think the obvious choice to come on first for Ollie would be Martial, I think. We're still chasing a goal.
Thing is, if he does bring Martial on, we're not really playing the formation for Martial, are we? We're not using.
Well, this is where I think you'd have to change it.
Yeah,
you would have to change the formation if he brings him on. He's got to change it. But Delo involved down the right and already straight away get that ball across like that. That's what we need. I spoke about it in the first half. Got to get that lad involved more. He's dangerous. He is dangerous from that right hand side.
We are stretching them.
Yeah.
I think we took Arsenal's best shot. We looked shaky for a bit, but regained some composure. Need to be clinical second half. It's Tony Martial's game, says Kareem Riley.
Ball by Ashley Young. Tried to roll that into Fred there inside the penalty box. Way too much on it.
Well, what we've got to be careful about in this second half is being caught on the break, because we're 1-0 down. It sounds ridiculous being the away team, but because we're 1-0 down, I think they'll try and hurt us on the break.
Fred did well, a ball over top Lukaku's onside, surely.
Oh, come on, Lukaku.
Got to be better than that,
Bloody
mate.
Goalkeeper get into the ball before you. Fucking hell. How does the goalkeeper get that ahead of Lukaku?
Got to be quicker off the mark there. He was calling for it as well, so he knew it was coming.
It's a good ball by Matic, but Lukaku's got to get there before there.
He should be at least sticking a toe out there to try and
Don't
get
let it
on
bounce.
that.
And the great thing about that is, if he's brave, keeper probably brings him down.
Yeah.
Red card.
Good tackle there by Lindelof on Lacazette on the touchline.
Yeah, I'm not saying Lukaku should have scored that chance. What I'm saying is he should have got to the ball first. And if he gets to the ball first, the keeper's got a decision to make. He's either got to let it happen, or what normally happens is they take the player out, red card. We've got the wind now.
Well, Lacazette has just danced through 4 players there. Get up, man. Get up. Yeah.
Well, let's see if the wind has any impact. The wind caught the ball, says Daz Sweet. So we're using the wind as an excuse for Lukaku now. Good play by the French Charlie Austin there. But
yeah, I'll tell you what, nice bit of skill there. Go Parch, Matic, Dalot, Pogba. I think it was actually.
Let's see how relevant the wind is then, because De Gea's about to kick a ball here.
That's a lot straight. See, I think Rashford was looking for that, but it stopped. Came down about 5-6 yards in front of him. There we go. Long shot.
I hope we're not going to spend all half doing that though, because actually, look at Rashford. All Rashford's thinking about here is shooting, because he's thinking, "Oh, I've got the wind. But actually, he had some good runners right and left.
If we see a couple of more long shots in this half, then they're definitely going to try and use the wind as an advantage.
Well, Legionista just says Rashford don't shoot. Yeah, just because you got the wind. Use the wind when you're in the penalty box. It still makes it go harder. We don't need to start shooting from 40 yards just because they got a goal from it. Well done, Matic. Not a foul. Yeah. Play on.
Good play,
well done, Fred. Well done.
Look at Rashford.
He's on. You're bloody on. What did you start for?
I think Monreal pushed up. I think Fred was took a little bit too long to release the ball there.
Again, you see, we've had chances in this second half.
Not a foul. Get up.
Yeah, stop diving, Arsenal.
Yeah. United much better in the second half. Much better. There we go. Ball over. There's 2 runners here. Delot, can you keep it in?
He will keep it in.
Delot will keep it in. Ball across. Edge of the box, Fred.
Oh, handball! Definite handball! It's right on his bloody hand. Even I can see it from bloody the Midlands. You cheat! Oh my life, I could see that. It was a blatant handball.
Lukaku. He's missed it.
Oh, he's missed again! He's missed it again! You bloody idiot! Fucking hell! What a prat! The ref misses a bloody penalty and Lukaku misses this bloody get down, Specsavers. That's a blatant penalty. Blatant penalty. Yeah. And then Lukaku misses a one-on-one. You fat twat, ref. Absolute jokes. But how Lukaku misses this?
He's onside. He is onside.
Bloody hell. That is Stonewall. Oh, no, it's not. It's not a penalty. No, it's not a penalty. Well, fair play, ref. Fair play. It looked Stonewall. It's not a penalty. But Lukaku... Lukaku's making Leno look like the best goalkeeper in the world. He's got to score one of these chances soon.
He's got to, yeah. Those goals versus the big 6. He's got 1.
Fucking hell. He should have had at least 27. 2 today. I'm not joking. It's not a handball. No, I'll put my hands up. It's not a handball.
No.
It looked like a handball because his hands were up, but hits his chest, says Mirror Jeremy. Yeah, look, when you're wrong, you say you're wrong. You can't lie. Fucking Lukaku, though.
I think that's the 3rd chance he's had, so surely he's due a goal in this game now. But United have certainly started this second half the better.
Let's leave. Look, I'm not going to go mad about Lukaku yet. If we lose the game, we lose the game because we don't take these chances...
Martial's warming up.
Oh...
I think that's Koscielny down there, isn't it, Mark? He's been down a while.
He's very injury prone, but I think they're time wasting here.
Versus United corner. When he gets off the pitch.
We're cutting them open though, aren't we? So many times.
Well, and again, you know, 2-3 attacks in this first half have come from the right-hand side with Delo getting involved, getting that ball across. Poor ball, Luke Shaw from the corner. Matic flicked on. Bit of scrapping there, Pogba.
Oh, it gives a foul against us. For what? Yeah, I can't stand you, you fat, tubby old twat.
Maybe a little bit of a shout for a penalty there. Monreal was pulling on Smalling.
I don't know how that's a foul against us.
I think it's a bit of a high foot there from Pogba. But we go again.
3 chances missed by Lukaku, says Mike Lee.
There we go. Yeah.
Look, you know what? We can get into the moment, and as soon as I come down from that moment, it's like you do...
Ramsey's just been flattered by Pogba.
We don't deserve to lose this. Look, there's that old cliche in football, one of those days, and at the moment, this is what's worrying me. Pogba's probably a little bit lucky he didn't get booked.
He should have got a yellow for that, surely. Caught him round the face, didn't he? But Arsenal not really in the game at the minute.
Well, I'm hoping that this is what we thought might happen, which is Arsenal, because they only played a couple of days ago and they played a long time with 10 men, that they might get a little bit of fatigue.
Up and nearly got that ball through to Delo then down that right hand side. Ollie certainly told them to come down this right hand side now in the second half. Not seeing anything down our left. Good covering by Fred there. And Delo's off again down the right. If Lukaku can spread it out that way. Come on, mate.
Get rid of it. Rashford, well. Did really well. Well, that's good play from Lukaku.
He's got nowhere to go. He's down a blind alley there.
He's done well. As long as Lukaku keeps the ball, that's the...
Fred's pass in his second half has been so much better. United certainly trying to turn the screw. Get it out to the left there, short. That's it.
He's gone.
Great
Ooh,
back heel by Pogba there. Rashford's got it back. Fred's there on the bot edge. Fred gone. Oh. Might do a little bit too much though. Ashley Young, great tackle.
Yeah.
It's our ball. It's our ball. Yep.
Yeah, he's played it on.
What's he doing?
Oh, there's an Arsenal player down injured again. It's not a head injury. He's a fat twat. He really is. That is wrong. I don't know who this referee is, right? But when Ashley Young picks it up and throws the ball into play, he can't suddenly decide I'm stopping it for an injury. That's not the rules. The ball's in play. It's not a head injury, you fat lazy git. Stop going down McDonald's 5 days a week. Get down the gym and be a proper Premier League ref. Look at him having a laugh. You're fat. Look at you. Look at you. You're a disgrace for a Premier League ref. Joker.
Yeah, Ollie's having a word with this. Second half possession as well. 59 United, 41 Arsenal. I think Ashley Young's even having a word with a fourth official.
They're trying to break the rhythm. Newton's right. Arsenal are trying to break the rhythm. But there's still plenty of time left in this game. Over half an hour to go. You just feel if United get... I think that if United can just get the next goal, you just wonder how this game's going to go.
There's going to be plenty of injury time as well. All these stoppages so far in the second half. United certainly on the front foot.
Nothing wrong with him. The same again, Koscielny, Maitland-Niles, they're down like they've been bloody blown up, and then they're back fine. Nothing wrong with them.
United start again.
It is like there must be something about the wind in this game though, because it's like it's like when you used to play down the park with one of them plastic balls, isn't it? Pogba's held on to that for way too long. It's a free kick though.
Yeah. It's a foul. That was good by Pogba. He was on one of them runs, draw the foul in.
Arsenal think they can hold on to his average. I think, as I said at half time, if Arsenal want to win this goal, I think they need another goal. And I think they're trying to just hopefully try and hit us on the break, which to be fair, they might do at some point. If we don't start taking some of our chances, they might do. Now, United from free kicks, not a big fan of us from free kicks.
You know what? I'd let Fred have a crack at this one.
I only ever feel confident when Mata's on the pitch.
So, I wouldn't let Rashford have a go at it. But got to be Pogba or Fred for me.
Just get it on target. With this wind, you've got to get it on target, haven't you? That's the trouble with wind. It can... if you get it on target, it's going to be Pogba, it's going to be Rashford.
Oh. Was that close or what? Oh, that's not far away, Mark, from the top. About a metre wide.
Far away,
yeah. Just over half an hour to go. See, this suits United as well. Arsenal trying to play out from the back. They're just going to invite pressure and just play that long ball. I don't know what he's blowing up for here. What's the matter now?
Knock off the personal attack on the ref. It's a bit childish. You're better than that, says the Francis Brady. I'll do what I like, thanks, but I'll take your note on board. But been doing this for 3 or 4 years now. Pretty much been doing it the same way all the time. Will continue to do so. But thanks for the feedback. I don't know why you redid that again.
No.
I thought this game was going to get me hard, says Ozzy Montana. It's just frustrating, isn't it? It does have the feeling as one of those days. We've been the better team, but you can just see Arsenal getting a goal on the break.
Yeah, Arsenal are falling down on the ball now quite often.
I mean, Ozil's been invisible, hasn't he? Not even noticed him in this game.
No, I don't see what he's brought to the Arsenal team today at all. United now trying to play out from the back.
Well, both teams do, don't they, really?
Well, you thought it would suit United more, though. I mean, when Arsenal do it, because obviously United are chasing the goal and Arsenal just bringing pressure on themselves. Rashford's made a storming run there through the middle, but Ashley Young didn't want to go for it.
I think Fred's played well this half.
Oh, he has, yeah. His passing has been much better. He's quicker in the tackle, quicker closing down. Come on, man. I think certainly you'd have to say within the next 5-10 minutes get Martial on. Garku running the channel.
It's just not quite gone for us, has it, in that final sort of third phase of play?
Here's
Arsenal, they've got bloody loads stacked up here. Oh, bloody hell. We've got it clear.
Covering Luke Shaw. Get it out, Ashley. There we go.
Done.
That's it. You know what? I mean, Arsenal are looking a bit leggy now. They're not coming forward as often as they did in the first half. Definitely trying to catch United on the counter-attack, so the onus will be on United this second half to do something.
Get a sub on, says Swishy Grace.
I think it needs some fresh legs, either out in the wing or in the midfield. Good tackle, Ashley.
Switch to the left. You've got
look
Shaw on the left. Look at Luke Shaw on the left.
There we go. Oh,
You idiot, Rashford. Bloody held on to that way too long. Oh, he's not at the races, Rashford, today, is he? Martial needs to come on, says Sean Atwood. I think there's a lot of people in the live comments saying that.
yeah. Maybe go if bring Martial on, maybe go with 3 at the back. Who'd you bring off? Because you ain't going to bring Ashley Young off.
Wasteful by Rashford, says Newton Heath. I think he's had a... That's not a foul by Ashley Young. He's gone for the ball.
Oh, he's got the ball first. Yeah. I wonder how long Ollie's going to take before he does the change.
A few people are saying take Rashford off. I mean, to be honest with you, Lukaku has had the better game. Play on, said the ref.
The
Not
tackle
foul.
by Small in there. Yeah.
And Lukaku's hold up play today has been really good. It's the other way round, isn't it? It's his finishing that's not been good.
You know, like trying to be a bit too clever there, and a great tackle again by Fred.
He's won so much of it back.
Rashford's in. Did he get it? Ah.
Leno's done well again off the line.
But yeah, the opportunities are coming for United and knocking on the door. Arsenal yet to have a shot in the second half.
Sander Floor would take a draw right now. Bloody would. I would. I'd be happy when we put the ball in the back of the net.
Matic did well there against Nathan Miles.
One of those days for sure at the moment. We should, you know what? We talk about getting back into the game. We should be bloody winning this game.
Well, yeah, we've had
been 100% comfortably the best team.
I think there is another goal in this game.
What are you doing trying to pass out from there, Matic?
I thought Matic had a foul on him there, to be honest. Xhaka again. Arsenal's first shot, 20 minutes in.
Matt 049 is a Spurs fan. He says, I'm praying for a draw. Tell you what, Xhaka there again. Fred actually did try and close him down that time.
Delone, go on, boy.
It's good, that.
Oh. No, I see what he was doing there. There was a ball out of Popper out on the left-hand side. Come on, keeper. That's longer than 6 seconds, surely.
Newton says, we're going to score. Relax, everybody.
Yeah, I still believe we'll score. I think United have created I
tell you what, though, I think we are getting to that point now where the next goal's crucial, because I think if Arsenal go 2-0 up, it is game over. You're not going to get 2 in 20 minutes.
Someone's getting stripped down there.
Too late again from Ollie in terms of subs, says AJ is back.
Good covering by Ashley Young there. Back heel by Fred. Another good ball by Delo on the right. Pogba's into Fred. Look at that on the left there. Look, no, he should have gone left, Fred.
God.
Should have
That's what I
gone
mean.
left.
It's everything works really well up until the final third. And then we seem to make the wrong pass.
Rashford was out free there on the left-hand side. All he had to do is just slip him in.
I think Fred's probably been player of the half for me, you know.
I think he's been great this
Yeah.
second half, yeah. He's really, really improved this second half. No, no, no! Never a penalty.
I think it was. One of those days. What did I tell you? One of those days.
No. He's not even gone in for a tackle on him. Look.
It's a blatant dive. It's a dive. Been done over by a bloody dive. Butterfly's far. He doesn't even touch him. He doesn't even touch him. I told you about this ref. Bloody ref has cost us the... Ref is a disgrace. A disgrace. Absolute disgrace. That's it. We're going to lose this game. De Gea mistake and a wanker referee. Simple as that, innit? Absolute disgrace. Disgrace. Absolute disgrace.
Never a penalty.
It's not even a fucking penalty as well.
Don't even tackle
how
him,
have we
Mark.
lost this game to Arsenal? Jammy bastards are us. Really? Cannot believe it. He won't miss this penalty because he missed against bloody Spurs.
Yeah.
2-0. Unbelievable. Fred didn't even touch him. Arsenal have done sod all in this game. Absolutely nothing. They've had a shot that De Gea should have saved and a penalty that wasn't a penalty. And we've dominated them. Absolutely. And we're 2-0 down. Fucking football, eh? That's football. Welcome to the world of football. It will love you like it did on Wednesday night, and it will shit you out like it has done with United today. Ridiculous game of football. Ridiculous. But if you don't take your chances, you don't take your chances. And we've had the better chances. We've not took them. Arsenal have been gifted 2 goals by a fat ref and De Gea messing up in the first half. But that ref's a joke. We've been on about the ref for ages, and he's cost us the game. Doesn't even touch him.
No.
Doesn't even touch him.
You can even see him take the leap forward. Disgusting.
It's just one of those days. Just one of those days.
No, I think Martial's come on now. I think it's Rashford coming off. Is it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, Delo's come off. So Rashford's gone right. Martial.
We're going. Well, what we'll do now is we'll go 4-3-3, won't we? But I just had this feeling about this game today. You know, sometimes in football you just don't get what you deserve to get, and referees can change the momentum of a game. We were just saying 2 minutes before that, if Arsenal get another goal, I don't think we'll come back from it. But they've done nothing to get the second goal. I mean, to be honest with you, Fred, from the angle of the referee, it might look like a penalty. It isn't a penalty. If that goes to VAR, it's not a penalty. But
You know what? I think John Moss had a clear view at that. But never is that a penalty. Oh no, Lindelof, what has he done?
nearly 3-0. United are falling apart now.
I think the bounce caught Lindelof out there, I think.
I had the feeling about this today. I had a feeling about today.
But again, they've done nothing in the second half. Absolutely nothing. Come on. Just under, well over 20 minutes still to go with the injury time.
2-0 is the score. I'm just about to change it now.
Oh, there's a fan on the bloody pitch as well.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm fed up of these dickheads running on the pitch as well.
Yeah.
Fuck off. You know, seriously, get stuffed, you sad bastards. It wasn't funny in the 80s, so why have people started doing it again? Ah, well, you know, just one of those days, isn't it?
Well,
Look at the chances. I mean, Lukaku's the one who's going to get the blame, isn't he? Because the chances he's missed, but... haven't heard our 12th man tonight. So Stevie C. We're being invaded by Arsenal fans. Oh, you got to expect it, haven't you?
Matic has been booked.
Oh, Joshua says I'm the reason we're losing. Yeah. Well, good one, Joshua. Of course it's my fault. Yeah. I picked the team. I picked the tactics, and just because I felt that today something was going to go wrong, it's my fault. Absolute idiot. But if that makes you feel better, great. It's got sod all to do with me.
Side ball. For fuck's sake, you ain't giving a corner for that. Jesus. The standard of refereeing these days in the Premier League is, he's gone downhill a bit, to be honest.
I don't know why he's a referee. You know, people were sticking up for him because I said he's fat. He is fat. He's fat. Too fat to be a Premier League referee. I'm sorry. I know people get all sensitive about weight, but he is a Premier League referee and he is overweight and he doesn't keep up with the play. And he also probably needs to get some glasses because how he's given a penalty for that, I don't know. Pippa says that Ollie's wheels fallen off. You know what? I love football fans because they don't half get sensationalist about things. If Arsenal win this game, you're only 2 points ahead of us. You know, of course, it would be nice for United to win this. I said it would be really bad if we lost it, but we're only 3 points off third, so I don't think it means anything, to be honest with you.
Arsenal preparing to make a change. I don't even think really it's to do with Ollie or the tactics. It's just we had some great opportunities throughout this game. We just haven't took them.
No, I think you're right. I think you're spot on. That's what I think when you're searching for reasons, there's only three that come to my mind: Lukaku for the misses, De Gea for the mistake on the first goal, which puts us on the back foot, and the ref for the penalty. It's not a penalty. It just isn't a penalty. And but I know exactly. I can hear Robbie in my ear now, and he's not really in my ear. But he was having this chat with me the other night. He was saying it wasn't your PSG wasn't a penalty, and I suppose that's football, isn't it? You know, I personally think that the PSG penalty may have been a little bit soft, but it was technically a penalty. But this today. It isn't. Lukaku and Rashford cannot lead the line next season.
The players are going down. Oh, Pogba's got his 5th booking, so is that a suspension, isn't it?
No.
No?
No, not at this point in the season.
Ozil's going off. Also, there's got to be a good 4 or 5 minutes added on as well. Iwobi's come on. United really have got to get a goal in the next 5 minutes to have any chance. Go on, Rashford, go. That's 3v3 here. Oh, no, it ain't.
It's took too long again.
Yeah.
Rashford, you're playing shit, mate. Absolutely shit. Like, you get your head up and start bloody doing something. He holds on to the ball for too long.
Lukaku.
That's a corner.
What?
Oh, bloody hell. This ref is beyond shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even a joke now. How much are Arsenal paying this ref? Seriously, how much are they paying him, the ref? He's given a bloody goal kick now. Ugh.
But it's not your day, it's not.
No, it's not. It's one of them days, isn't it? Said it at half time, said it before the game. Just had a bad feeling about today. And as you said, Marcus, we're not losing this game because we've been the worst team. We're not losing this game because the tactics have been wrong. We're just losing it because it's just one of those days. You know?
Yeah, 13 shots each. 3 on target for each. So it's, to the
statistically
stats,
it's equal, but I don't. This is why I'm not a big fan of stats.
What we got here is this free kick.
Yeah.
He's pulled it back. Luke Shaw on a free kick. Aims at the back, Smalling. He's got there. For fuck's
It's
sake.
always going to be a fucking foul. Hello from Russia and Cuba. We are united always, says Alexander Isaf. And Sharath Kamath Fitness. John Moss is so bad. No wonder he doesn't have the FIFA badge on his shirt. There's still 10 minutes left, says Robert. I don't see us getting into it now.
I think Greenwood's coming on.
It isn't the ref's fault we can't score or defend, says Ryan FTW. I think that's a very good point, you know. The referee gives a dodgy penalty and takes the game away from us, but we have had the chances.
Yeah, we have. We've just not put them away, and they've been really good chances as well. I mean, the game changes if the one from Lukaku's first opportunity goes in.
"79 minutes.
Oh, Aubameyang's gone off.
Matic has come off as well. Is it possible we are seeing bad effects of the PSG? We aren't playing good at all. Love your content. Keep up the good will, says Just Kick 07. I don't think. I think United have done okay. I don't think. I think we're sort of falling into this trap of it's a PSG hangover. But we've been the better team. I mean, Ozil's gone off. I never even knew he was on the pitch. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know he'd gone off because I didn't even realise he was on the bloody pitch. But I think United's heads. I think that second goal's finished United off. I don't think we're coming back into this. I think it's a foregone conclusion now.
That's the first time I think De Gea's saved the ball. So Matic went off for Greenwood, is it?
Yeah, we've gone a little bit more attacking. Put Pogba into the midfield. But all Arsenal have got to do is part the bus now.
Yeah. It looked like United had gone like a 4-2-4. Come on, man. Pogba's coming really deep to get hold of that ball, but come on. Give it to the young lad out there, look. There's not much movement going on in front of Pogba at the minute. Right. Lukaku switched out to the right. Poor ball by Fred there. Luke Shaw couldn't keep it in. Arsenal got a throw-in out on the far side. And we've just gone to 82 minutes. Oh, United aren't really looking to go forward at the minute either. They're just quite happy to keep hold of the ball and spread it from left to right. Need a bit of magic from somewhere. Arsenal are in again.
Oh, they're going to get a third here.
Fred, great covering, Fred.
Dear, I think we're trying to.
Lucky Fred was there covering that, because although we would have had a tap in there. Come on. They're not trying to play it in the corner already. There's plenty of time. Plenty of time left. Arsenal already trying to keep it in the corner. It's absolutely chucking it down there at this minute. How deep our centre forwards are coming to pick the ball up.
I was just thinking there. I mean, from a man of the match point of view, from Manchester United as well, you're struggling, aren't you? Whereas I think in recent weeks we've had, many candidates. I think today you're struggling, and I think that penalty has absolutely killed us.
Yeah.
It's allowed Arsenal to go really deep. That was I thought you got the ball there.
Yeah.
The ref's been a disgrace, absolute disgrace. And we haven't mentioned referees for a long, long time, but I said it. I was having a pop at him in the first half, not knowing what he was going to do in the second half. But yeah, really, really disappointing.
Yeah, it's almost like he's wanting to make the game about him today, which is a bit of a shame.
Well, look, it's funny because VAR gave us a goal in midweek, didn't it? And I think today it's...
You have VAR today and it's not a penalty, is it?
It's not a penalty, is it? No.
Go on, get forward. Give it to Martial, look. Come on, someone make a run for Pogba here. Jesus Christ. Just don't think our big players have stepped up today.
No. Pogba's been quiet. I think Luke Shaw's played well, actually. But I'm struggling to think anybody else.
I think Fred's done, penalty aside, I think Fred's done really well in the second half. It's never a penalty.
The thing about the penalty is there's no contact, but I think he thinks that there is. He's convinced it's a penalty, isn't he? At the end of the day, he is convinced it. And I thought that might be what it was. He's a shit ref, but I think the angle of it, he thinks it's a penalty, and it's not. And at the end of the day, that's what's cost us.
Lacazette's coming off. 4 minutes to go in normal time.
Their goal difference will be boosted compared to ours now as well, which is worrying. Only takes United 2 minutes to score. Ollie has done it before, says Mr. Exclusive. Mini Morner, when the ref does not give obvious corners, we lose an attacking chance. Happened a few times now. Ref is pants. Mabias Drummer, we're all emotional, but we've played well and they've had 2 goals from nothing really. Let's take our L, and though Fred played well, to be honest. Lee Ballington, Chelsea drew, Spurs lost. It's not a good result, but a decent weekend. Arsenal will end losing silly points in later games. At least we now fight. Because of the overconfidence before the game, I put 50 on Arsenal, says Meb Ill. Oh, there you go. Can make a bit of money. thin margins. I think it does come down to the thin margins tonight. There's a few people talking about that. Aidan
Greenwood's on the
Lefevre
attack.
says, I'm sick of chat. Majority are bandwagoners. Get a grip. People saying Ollie out already. Really? Everyone has games like this. Support MC with that crap, says Aidan Lefevre. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I don't think there's much wrong with how we've played today. It's just not gone right for us in the final third. We've had plenty of opportunity in the final third. It's just not gone right for us in the final third.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at the chances. Lukaku, Fred, even Rashford had that chance where he should have just threw himself at it. And that was just the first half. We started off second half quite brightly. I thought we started off really well, but yeah, the penalty killed the game. It did kill the game, and I think you said, Mark, didn't you, during the half time, the next goal's crucial.
I just felt if Arsenal got the second goal, that was going to be it. I thought it would be a mountain for climb. Let's not forget, we had a massive game on Wednesday as well. I know it was a day before Arsenal, but I just don't think we've had what it's take to get back in the game. And I think that's what's cost us, to be honest. That second goal. Yeah. And it's just it's unfortunate, to be honest, the second goal.
Oh, Rashford's on the run here. Oh.
He's trying to do too much again.
He has been poor today, hasn't he, that lad? Decision making has been all over the place. It's a shame. It is a shame that the game was decided by a penalty that never was.
I mean, to be honest, if you wanted Arsenal to win, you couldn't have wanted it any. It couldn't have gone any better for you. United are all over you at 1-0. Bloody hell, ref!
Oh, did he get a punch in the face?
He's off. He's off. That's the second yellow.
That's the second yellow.
You're off, mate. It's Kolasinac. He's already been booked. He booked him in the first half. I'm sure he booked him in the first half.
Oh, hang on a minute. Wasn't that the Socrates guy?
Oh, maybe it was. Yeah.
Go on, Greenwood. Ball into Pogba. I mean, United they didn't really get to grips with Arsenal's formation until probably about halfway through the first half either. Oh, Wobie's off. Ashley Young's got to get that. There we go. So I have 5 minutes added on.
Well, we ain't going to get 2 goals in 5 minutes.
Nah.
So the run's going to come to an end.
Yep.
9 away wins in a row. Just shows you, though, doesn't it? I mean, football, it doesn't matter how well you play. If you don't put your chances away, you can be the better team. You can deserve something more, but it doesn't always work that way. And I think today for United, it's a lesson, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they got to pick themselves up now and come back from this. Hopefully, Herrera will be back by the next game. I think that was a major player we missed today, Herrera. Oh, Rashford header straight at Leno.
For fuck's sake. Free header, unmarked. I mean, this is the story of our game. The chances we've missed today.
Yeah.
We should never have lost it.
No, I don't think so. I think we should have at least drawn the game. We had enough opportunities to score a goal at least. But just not being clinical enough in the final third. It's cost us today. Some days it goes for you, some days it doesn't. It's just a shame that the run has come to an end at these arseholes.
Let them have it. Let them have it. They'll, you know how they're going to react to it.
Yeah. I expect to see you
But we
take a
also,
bit of
but
a
you know
battering.
what? I'll be addressing that in my match reaction actually for all those people who are going to start saying take the L, DT better than Goldbridge and all that bollocks. We'll see how people. That's a penalty.
That's a penalty.
And he's given it.
No, he's got a goal kick, isn't he?
Oh, God, I thought he'd actually redeemed himself and given a penalty there.
Oh,
I've never seen a refereeing decision as bad as this one in a long, long time. And to tell you what's annoyed me about Sky Sports today as well, they've shown next to no replays of anything. Like, why are we not seeing that back again? Because it doesn't fit the fucking agenda, does it? I feel sorry for Flex doing the fan cams.
Yeah, mate, yeah.
The weather is atrocious.
This is what I was driving back from, this sort of weather. Trees down on the road and everything there was.
Well, give us your man of the match, Marcus, and all that jazz.
You know what? I didn't think Fred had a good. Well, he was okay in the first half. Distribution was a bit off for me, but I think the second half he's been absolutely fantastic. Penalty aside, because it was never a penalty. I think he's the only. He's really the only one that's not stopped running. He made an interception just now. Well, say just now, about 5 minutes ago, that Arsenal could have scored a third if he wasn't there. So I think Freddie, he's been full of energy today, to be honest. I think he's the only one really that's looked to get on with the game. Luke Shaw's done okay. I think Smalling's done okay. I just think there was a lot of average performances today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed our big players to step up to the plate away from home, and it hasn't materialised whatsoever.
I tell you what, I'm proper pissed off. Why didn't Sky show back then that bloody handball? Because it doesn't fit their agenda of what they want to show. I mean, maybe it wasn't handball, but I'd like to bloody see it. Martial puts a cross in and it clearly hits someone in the arm.
Oh, Lukaku just laying it off there, man. Just looking for someone to belt that at the edge of the box.
I just think in the final third, United have been pretty crap today, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's not really clicked, does it?
No. Solskjaer doesn't look very happy about it either.
But yeah, I mean, it's not as if it's not been a great performance away from home, but it's not been piss poor either. We have created opportunities. And it's, I mean, Jesus, the weather. Maybe there is something in the wind there, mate. I don't know.
Yeah, well, we won't be using the wind as an excuse.
No.
Anyway, look, my link's in the video description. The ref's blown it up. Really disappointing from Manchester United. I'll be giving you my opinions on it afterwards. But thanks very much for coming on, Marcos.
No worries, mate. Pleasure as always, and I'll see you guys soon, all right?
Lots to talk about in the match reaction. Link in the video description. I'll see you there in a few seconds' time. But thanks for watching. That was fucking shit, mate. That was absolutely shit.
Yeah. Like I said, mate,